I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
We got to the point where we could control the laws of nature by guidance and electronics.
everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful day of Verizon VCT Game Changers. We have the lower finals ahead of us.
3v2. Oddly enough, though, not yet looking to drop down here with a Bucky. It's awful hard at that range. Now, Elaborate gets activated here to catch this rotate out, and it is a comfortable two-piece for the Cypher. Okay, here with a little bit set up, she can obviously cover that coming corner with an overpulse. Now thrash the second time around. Thea's able to wrap in here. All of a sudden, FlyQuest looks like they might have something to say about this until Melia finds two. Make sure no one playing at points, no one on the other side of it, but Starbound is just happy to hold the line. Okay, inside. He knows about the hair inside. Look at that. Townsend cut off, but Marceline beautifully done. What discipline as well to see the code go past. Instead, go to work on the rest of FlyQuest. Devastating impact from the Jet. And I think you've redeemed yourself with an iBuyPower race. Very sharp. Actually gets out of that alive. Hit heavily by the paint shells during the detainment.
Man, just surviving on site, wrapping around. Corrupt unaware. Drops the Vandal. What is the shot on Marceline? And just the predictive spam headshot.
That's his point. As far as the defenders are concerned, everybody looking up towards Crows, no. Let's elaborate down. Odina has managed to even it up, and a glimpse of Scary Shark here. No reason to commit! Oh my goodness, talk about giving the way of the Dodo a new meaning. Dealing with the Odin's gonna be a tough job, surely not. 4 bullets left in the chamber. Scary Shark is at 9. It's time, that could be an issue, but Dodo Nut steps into the smoke, finds one. Still, this is threatening. The presence in hell might be a problem, but Dodo is gonna be on her own now and still able to take the head off Melia. Raw 1v1, but Scary Shark has not the time nor the vitality to end the round. Another dizzy here. And the play off the flash is sublime. Nothing. There's a lot of utility over the site. Cove also thrown down. Cascade, they are waiting inside the Cove.
How passive player playing there, honestly. With a full retake Sonder. Makes it even more dire for YFP. You can see the desperation from their players. They know they're on the cusp of defeat. They're trying to make something happen so desperately. And look at the patience, the discipline from Fly. They're ready to make it to the final.
Colin knows they don't have to overextend for this at all, and for the 3rd time this year.
Hello and welcome to the final day, grand finals day of the Verizon VCT Game Changers Series 3. All year, it's all come down to this, and it's been wonderful so far. And just one more best of 5 until championships in Berlin. My name is Sierra Dawn. Joining me on the Analyst desk, we have Athena and Vala. Athena, we've followed these teams for so long, these players, some of them for years. Grand finals ahead with the top 2 teams that we have here in GC3. It's going to be a great day ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like this is what everyone's pick'ems look like. I feel like we talked all event long about the big 3, and now we're down to the big 2. And so this is just going to be such an exciting matchup. This is a rivalry at this point. I feel like both these teams have faced each other for so many times, and now they're just going to be seeing who can come out on top in this seeding-based match.
And so exciting to be the culmination of it all, right? Kind of matchup again. Because to me, FlyQuest is a mishmash of players who have been really trying to get at Shopify at the end of it all for this last GC this year. This is really going to be cool.
It'll be a really fun finals to be watching between these two. And again, Athena, you touched on the stakes and stuff of this match. At this point, these two teams have qualified. So a little bit of a different stakes than sometimes we get in the grand finals, but still we have these 2 competitive teams with these players that want to prove themselves, money, seeding. So there's still a lot to play for here.
I feel like looking at these rosters too, it kind of looks like champions at the bottom, the bad edgy players, they got that edge to them, and then you got the New Hope FlyQuest coming into it. We're about to make an anime with this finals. But yes, both these teams, they have successfully qualified. However, coming down to the seedings, it is still gonna be really important. It plays a huge role going into championships, whether they come in with that number 1 or number 2 NA seed. They get to see where they stand amongst all the other teams, and they also get to actively play and show off why they came in with that seeding.
I mean, if you're talking about this like an anime, then you have to talk about that final boss, which is Shopify Rebellion, and a final boss that a lot of teams haven't managed to make their way past. And for FlyQuest Red, it's been a team that has been chasing the Shopify roster throughout the entire year. These two teams have matched up quite a few times, and when we're talking about the big two, of course, Shopify is the team on top, but FlyQuest, even if a lot of the matchups necessarily haven't gone their way, Bala, they have shown that they are capable of taking them down.
Oh, we got 2 pages of this, too.
Right? So much.
You are right, though. I mean, we've literally seen them multiple times in the open. 3 pages. This just tells you exactly what you need
I think
to
it's just on repeat. I think you're trolling.
4 pages.
It just keeps going.
They've played each other so many times throughout the open qualifiers, throughout the main events, and almost every time when it matters, Shopify's been able to overtake them. Now, last GC in Series 2, we had that really, really close call that, of course, Shopify was able to edge them over, but still, that sort of thing leads you to believe that there is a big chance here, especially if you are a firm believer, which is what a lot of the desk has been talking about throughout this series so far, is that FlyQuest has been getting better. So if it's the culmination, and they were able to push them the distance in the best of 5 last time, then they should be able to do it here.
I think too, like a really big thing as a player that I kind of know about is there's a lot that goes into a game day, and a lot of the time it comes down to which team was just having a better day, because both these teams have been neck and neck for so long. Shopify has almost always 90% of the time come out on top, but if FlyQuest is having one of their really good days and Shopify is just kind of coming in a little bit slow, they could lose a couple map lead right away. So for me, for this match, I'm not counting anyone out. I feel like it's going to be really good to see how much homework both of these teams have done on each other and how confident they are coming into this.
I mean, overcoming those bad days is absolutely everything at points. But when we look at the prestige the Shopify Rebellion roster has, including the experience of a couple of these players, there's so much there, because we have seen the ups and downs of a couple of these players and the comeback potential that is always there. When we look at Alexis and Mel, for example, these are two that throughout Game Changers history, Athena, that we've talked about at length, and being able to make a case again for another year on why they're some of the best.
I mean, they are returning champions from last year, and they've also made every single champion finals. This isn't only showing that they are amazing players, but it also shows that they have the confidence, they are able to play at such a high level. Consistency. Not only does today kind of matter for seeding, but it also helps them kind of emphasize where they stand when they get 2 champs. Because in order to have a good run, you have to know, what your strengths and weaknesses are. You have to know how you want to play and how you want to kind of present yourself on that stage. So today is really important for all of that.
Yeah, I would also argue that the history of it all also matters a lot, right? We've already solidified, obviously, Mel and Alexis by far as a dynasty. It's not like anybody is arguing that whatsoever. But the farther we get into this, the harder it's going to be for anybody to ever catch up, right? To cement yourself in GOAT game changer status forever would be to win over and over these sorts of events right here. They've done it 2 years out of the 4 game changers that we've had so far. They've swept, right? Only last year did they not actually manage to win this right here, this grand final right here against EG. And so if they lose again, that starts to give a notch. That starts to give somebody another chance to at least try to match them. But so far, it's been pretty flawless this year. And I don't expect them not to win this. So I think that's what they're thinking as well, especially Mel and Alexis.
Yeah, you're talking about it being difficult to catch up to these players, and we have to talk about Mel and just what she's accomplished throughout her career and being able to yet again lead this roster to this qualification and potentially to another Game Changers title, because Mel throughout has been one of the best that we've talked about, and being able to see that caliber of IGL go up against the still relatively newer IGL and Thea, but Thea being able to push up Athena to lead this newer roster, I think is just amazing.
I think the combination that both these players have is being able to IGL and also be able to perform and do their jobs in the server. That is such a big feat that a lot of IGLs struggle with, the constant performance, the ability to kind of turn the round around with clutch plays, with being able to make something happen for their team. It feels like this is the hardest job that an IGL can have. But both of them, they're so good at reading the other team. They're so good at adapting. And I feel like this matchup is actually going to come down to a lot of the mid-rounding situations and understanding how the other team is kind of thinking and how they can adapt to everything that's going on.
And I love that challenge ahead, Thea, when you're looking at someone who has been able to lead a roster qualification to then have the opportunity and being able to succeed on that again this year. So now, calling in this grand finals, there's the best of 5 ahead of Athena, but Mel's a tough opponent to take down.
For sure. I mean, the thing is that we have to remember is that Thea did this for EG last year to bring them into the champions. They literally won against Shopify last year in this exact matchup. So it's up to Thea if she can kind of pull this out and do it again. Whereas for Shopify, they have Mel. Has she learned from her mistakes? Has the team in general understood what it kind of took for EG to win that victory? And can FlyQuest kind of make it a little bit better?
Yeah, super interesting to me, this battle, for sure, especially because Thea, I mean, has grown into a vet in the scene. Obviously, she's been there before, but it was last year in that EG run, in that crazy lower bracket run that they had, that she cut her teeth on IGLing, right? That was her first time doing it. This year, she's turned into the most experienced IGL other than Mel, right, in this game changer. So as we've seen in the upper bracket final, she could read the game so well. She can make the calls. In fact, I would say that during that series in the upper bracket final that we just saw 2 days ago, she was one of the best players on FlyQuest because she was feeling the flow of the game so well.
Yeah, so it's really just a great thing for FlyQuest and be able to see Thea and the team have that success. And we're talking about someone who's been able to make that run. But I got an opportunity to talk to someone from FlyQuest yesterday at Donut who hasn't had that yet. So check out this little interview clip.
I don't know. I didn't think I would like be crying or whatever, because after we won, I was like chilling, and then after that, it like all hit me. Like I actually never thought like I would make it this far or something like that in my career. Individually, I know I have like the potential to do well and be great, but with this team, I'm like super confident in all of the players, and I'm just super grateful to be on this team.
It's always so wholesome to talk to you, but it still shocks me, Athena, talking about she didn't think that she would hit this in her career, but then going on and talking about the team in general. Like it's very heartwarming.
I mean, she is the longest standing member of FlyQuest Red Valorant in general. So I think hearing it from her makes everyone a little bit emotional, because it's like, you know, she's such a good player. She's shown herself and proved herself consistently, but as a player, she hasn't been able to achieve that champion status. Not only has she gone through multiple roster changes on this FlyQuest Red roster, she's also had to go through multiple different orgs, TSM, CLG, and now FlyQuest. And throughout that whole career, this is the first time achieving it. That is a long time before you finally get to make it to champion. So definitely understand the emotional aspect behind it, but totally deserved, because Donut has constantly been a constant player.
I mean, Athena, you played with her for so long too, right? In that journey, how does it change, right? With her being there now, like what do you think about it?
I mean, it's kind of sad, and I don't want to get emotional. I feel like I'm watching like my little sister grow in a way. Aww. Because like the whole time that we're on a team together, it was just like, you know, little sis vibes. So I'm just proud.
I mean, it is really heartwarming to see. And Donut talked about going into the series and the team having, you know, fun for the day. I feel like that's a whole relief off. And looking ahead, we do have a series to talk about, this best of 5 grand finals. Again, the stakes of this, maybe it's not qualification on the line, but it is still going to be the seeding. It is still going to be the money. And we're talking about how Donut, the team, the vibes, having fun. For Shopify Rebellion, and it's an opportunity, Bala, to be ending off a strong season even stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of fives are always difficult, especially for the challengers. But I think at this point, you've had so many between these teams, and you've pushed the distance that I think both teams are super prepared. Especially the coaches on both sides. They've been losing sleep heading into this one.
I feel like the only thing that's kind of jumping out for me at this right now, looking at these maps, is Haven. Because Shopify picked this map. And I don't know if you guys know, but last time they played this map, the only time they've lost it has been to YFP, which they lost. It was 13-11, it was still really close, but it was still a loss. And their first and only loss, I believe, in this whole event so far. So picking Haven is kind of like a Giga Chad move, I feel like, where they're like, yeah, we learned from our mistakes. We know what's gonna happen going into it. And the other thing that I love is FlyQuest always runs this weird comp on Haven. I've talked so much trash about it, but Bala, I want to know what you think about the Phoenix, because I got my own thoughts.
This is crazy, bro. Phoenix is just not good on the pro level. Let's be real here. I know because if they're messing with it, then that's cool. Obviously, Haven, this is his playground, so I'm excited to see. Donut's such a good player, but when you're matched up against the pace of Flores Neon, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, FlyQuest has consistently used this comp. I think the past 5 times that they've played Haven, don't quote me on that, and they've won it pretty much every time that they've used this comp. So I've been proven wrong. I said the exact same thing that you were just saying, Bala, because I was like, that kind of sucks. Like maybe the Neon just gonna zoom and like take advantage, but they've proved me wrong. That being said, the Neon goes crazy. I always love to see the Neon Breach combo, especially with a team like Shopify, where they're just so good with their utils, so good with their timings. It's going to be a super exciting game to watch.
It'll be super, super fun. And even if there's no belief in the Phoenix coming out from Bala, I believe in Donut personally. So it's time to get underway with this best of 5 grand finals. Kick it over to the first map of Haven and to our casters, Ender and Mimi. Take it away.
Thanks very much, Sierra. We wouldn't have any other finals for Series 3. It's already happened twice this year between Shopify and FlyQuest. And for Shopify, they've won it both times. If they win today for this roster, since this super team was formed, it would be their 5th win, and for their first time heading into GCC as a #1 seed.
Shopify have only ever lost one tournament that they've played in as this team, and it was 2EG in Stage 3 last year. Thea and, of course, Starbound on that roster with Coach Jovi. FlyQuest are going to have to channel some of that to run it back.
And Shopify are starting swiftly towards A. Fluorescent takes space down long, and they slow down the round.
One of the things Shopify are going to try to do a lot up against this unique comp that FlyQuest are running is show presence and then try to bait out, play anti-flash for things like the Gecko Flash, like the Phoenix Flash. This Flash, very hard to turn around from. Not much of a Q against that one here, and it's going to be a trap right off this camera's contact.
Sees Flash going in, Sarah trapped in it. And Dodo gets the opening kill. No reply from Shopify yet. They'll fight up long. Noya gets one, but the trade is good. And now, Shopify somewhat locked into this one. They're actually going to head all the way through Garage as Floor is walking around. And no one's seen her just yet. Out backside. Through the smoke, Starbound is watching, but is Starbound ready? First kill, not found. Starbound gets it. Dodo up top for a third, and Mel locked in a tough position. Swung from logs and taken down by the opposing IGL.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think Alexis's Breach Blast ended up missing whoever the top logs player was. So there are still people looking at Garage, still watching for Floor coming in the backside. FlyQuest were very ready for that play from the trap, from not overreacting to that early A presence. I think they did well to hold their ground in this one.
On paper, the Phoenix comp looks really silly compared to the meta on this map. But what win conditions are we looking at? for them to find success with it.
I mean, ultimately, the Phoenix comp is all about taking sort of close corridors fights, because you don't have a dive H, you don't have a Jet or a Neon that's flying in there, like we're seeing from Floor in this round. Like, look how you can play off of the utility. You're gonna die because you don't have a gun, of course, but you can close that gap. FlyQuest don't have that, so instead, they have to be very smart and coordinated in the fights they do take.
And also, they're going to have to collect these orbs. That's why you've seen 2 rounds now. Shopify put a priority on denying that A orb. One of the last remaining 6 pip ults. I think the last remaining ult that you can get that easily. But it helps to snowball with this comp, and Dodo already has it. Kill potential towards Alexis. She's dead too, and that's all they were looking for on this anti-eco.
Yeah, between the Phoenix orbs and the Gecko ult only costing 7, FlyQuest can just cycle those ults really, really quickly to make retakes happen. I also do think the way Phoenix flashes operate are really well served around that A site. Again, it's hard to fight for lobby space because you don't have a breach and that long-range stun, so it's hard to fight where Noya is right now. But whether it's fighting around short or flashes into long, or even putting smokes on site and fighting around that, there's a lot of options for FlyQuest to snap flash you and still take those fights.
So a quick 2-0 start for Fly. Both rounds now for Shopify. They've sent this early gambit down long for Fluorescent. And I think the big question now is, does Fly have something cooked up around this Phoenix ult they want to use on round 3, or are they just going to save it for that retake?
I would imagine retake is going to be the best situation for them. It's also a super bonus from FlyQuest. This is something I've noticed they do. On round 3s, they'll really take a massive bonus. If they lose pistol, they'll also not buy anything. They'll go full classics, no util, to make sure their econ starts boosting its way up here.
Nice shot by Floor. 3rd time she's taken that duel down long, and this time finds a target.
Big walk down C-long from 2 players, so it really is just Stonder here with a Stinger. She'll be hiding out around in that smoke, but FlyQuest may have the right answer here. They did have to break a tripwire to get this flank going, and Shopify aren't even going to worry about turning around and clearing that one out. They realize A-site's going to be weak.
The issue, though, if this fade falls, and Shopify realizes the flank, they still have potential to flip for backside and change up how they play this
really
post.
Long.
Dart in, Sonder avoids it. We'll tuck into the smoke. Getting one here is huge for her, but IGL's already down. Another entry for Floor. The trades are excellent. That's the run it back gone. And only 2 players to fight back through this site for FlyQuest.
Bit ambitious there on the run it back. Now with 4 players ready to go. Breach Flash still to stall out. FlyQuest just going to try and pick off some rifles here, cause a bit of damage. It's a nice flash, but again, Alexis is ready and waiting for it. Wingman not going to accomplish anything either. It's a really nice post-plant setup from Shopify.
And you see how much value this Neon provides to SR. Be it at the start of round or in the mid-round, Floor is so good to get value off of those slide stun plays.
I imagine we're going to continue seeing Shopify just opening up strong into A lobby. You know, when you're playing at this sort of level and you realize that there is very little utility from FlyQuest that can hard control that area of the map, Shopify are going to look to bully that at the start of every round and then slow things down. Freeze, re-hit, re-clear back into mid, something like this. FlyQuest's only real option is just take that gunfight, but you're always going to get forced off of that stun early.
Same util pattern. This time the Neon doesn't follow up. Fly will re-clear the space and get an orb for their Phoenix, if they want it. Instead, actually just continuing a bit of a walk up here.
What are those trips?
Those are crazy.
What?
The God Rays coming down on the C site. I don't think I've ever seen those before.
Yeah, VALORANT with ray tracing activated. That's a nice shot from Dodo.
Yeah, opens up this round. Shopify are going to react and hit this B site. They're heading into the cycle. Starbound, stunned up. Noya gets the kill and Floor on the run. Another as well. It was an opener for Fly, but now they're at a man disadvantage, forced to retake C.
The worst part is when Cypher dies, you get to see where the trips were. So now Shopify are never going to be fooled by that ever again. And as soon as smokes are down on the retakers, you'll see Shopify always play their post plants completely off-site.
And they'll send Fluorescent on the reflank. Sonder not holding, timing. Oh, it's good for Floor. Misses some shots though, but the blinded Sonder was never aware. 1 for 1. Stuns coming in. The util will rain down for SR. This is nigh unwinnable for FlyQuest. Second layer of the flank. It's one. Dodo Nut is out of this round.
Yeah, just seeing Shopify play super fundamental post plants is something that spooked me personally. We got crushed by Shopify on Teddy Tactics in the first round of this event, but it wasn't the normal Shopify that, you know, maybe Floor does a bit of overheating, running you down just because she's feeling great
Sure,
and is
the
hunting
5
for
players
kills.
that are just better than you.
Yeah, no, Shopify, if there's no smokes, they'll all play off site, and if there's no flashes alive, they'll abuse you by playing the close corners right on the entrances to site, because you have no way of pushing them back.
Fly back down to the pistols here.
Revealing area.
A different opening from Shopify Rebellion.
Thea's gotten all the way under window here. Surely Shopify are expecting something like this, though. They have a camera down A short as well, so if Noya just clicks into that one, very easy to see that, hey, there's a fade there, and they have that information. So drone will come out, actually fearing maybe more space taken towards A because of that fade being spotted on short. So Thea gets away with this spot for the time being.
Ooh, Floor takes a tag through the wall. But Dodo doesn't spot the players coming up. Thea looks into an onslaught. Alexis will pick them both off. That's the B site opened up. Cypher in Starbound. Tries to take a desperate peek on through, but shoot away. As SR again, in a post plant with smokes dead, go full offside.
Eagle-eyed.
Just as simple as that. Shopify have gotten away with not even really investing much into A either, because they have the Cypher cages to threaten across, Omen TPs as well. They know they can't be run at early on in these rounds. So they can invest very little there and then go for these quicker re-clears, spot out any aggression FlyQuest are sending their way. I fear there's no way out for Starbound and Saunter.
They're not
Death
escaping
beckons.
this one. Sander will say hi with her shorty, but isn't going to get anything done. Flawless round to SR. And now this one is the big question to FlyQuest. A rifle round back up. Is the same game plan going to work, or do they have to change something here?
Eagle-eyed.
I mean, the trap setup they ran in the pistol round was pretty cool, fighting over towards the garage space. It wouldn't shock me to see a timeout or just a general game plan shift come in here. Yeah. I think FlyQuest would have a lot more success if they played Cypher more towards A and were playing a fast flood style on that side of the map. Cypher trips can be really annoying, whether you're playing from like Heaven and trying to spam off those, especially when a Neon's in the game, just because she's so far ahead of her team, you don't always have those trip breaks, although it is Shopify, so they're surely going to do that for her.
I think one of the scary things when you're playing this Phoenix comp is once your opponent puts a really good priority on alt orb denial, is constantly taking A lobby control, is constantly threatening C long, it gets a lot harder to snowball those ults in the way this comp really thrives.
Yeah, especially like if you're on the defensive side and you're just not winning rounds, you're not defusing. At least when you're attacking, if you put the spike down or something, you're getting an orb whether you win or lose it. But, yeah, I don't know. We're one off from Dodo, and we're one off from a couple big ones here. So this round could definitely get interesting the later we get into things. That said, Shopify kind of have a get site free card with that breach ult. So FlyQuest's plan coming out of the timeout is actually to play 1-3-1, which is usually what you are doing when you want to play for a fast flood. You can throw down that Sugar Zero on-site ace smoke and get very quickly into that side of the map with any real pressure put over them.
Scanning ahead.
Shopify, same A lobby default, but this time more firepower behind it. The Rolling Thunder you mentioned, ready to overwhelm on this site, but FlyQuest may be considering a fast flank.
Yeah, they want to look for it, but it's really hard to commit all the way over there because of the Cypher. Instead, they're going to have to move back over into A, and the option is for them, bait this ult out and get onto site as fast as possible.
Here comes the flood, but the util is just too good. Aftershock, stun, shocks going in. Fade ult finds nothing. More util coming in. FlyQuest is still stuck in the choke point. Paranoia, the next layer. Spike not planted, but Fly has lost almost all of their utility. And they still make it back into this site. Alexis is finally going to get the plant down. Shopify down by a number. And Ev diving into sight, straight into the face of Mel. Only 1 for 1. The players out spawn are trying to get through the cage, but only now will they escape. Straight into the arms of Alexis. The timing there just did not seem right for FlyQuest on the retake.
Yeah, I didn't quite see it, but I have to imagine Shopify had some kind of counter util going on to all the players that were flooding out from Link.
Yeah.
Because those Heaven players were out way too quickly. Of course, like, this is Haven. It's so easy to stall out the retakes over on the A side, which is why I was saying you got to get out very quickly. But yeah, I think they just were maybe a little bit slow. Then the Cypher cage got in the way. Their mowed down is... There's just too many angles to deal with, and I think that Thea's smoke is actually a mistake. She put down that short smoke twice instead of putting it on site, which cuts off the default angle.
Second run it back of the game for Dodo Nut. Just gonna try and take a peek in mid, and not gonna get anything. The ult expires.
Another ult for nothing. At least Ev is made it up into window. That might be a shot. No, just a dink through the wall. Ev can't quite find it, and yeah, they're gonna go down in the end.
Tragic. Poor Thea. Stuck in bunny. Stunned up. Aftershocked. Good night.
Well, Shopify have found an answer to these mid fights. And I think that's probably the easiest area of space to actually fight over if you're FlyQuest, but it's just not working at all. Alexis is putting up numbers. Alexis ulted last round, Mimi.
And she's already 3 away.
She got 6 orbs in 1 round.
It's ludicrous. You'd think that FlyQuest's ults are the ones that are going to get constantly farmed here, but part of what we were talking about with like that A lobby default means that Lexi's sometimes getting orbs there, she's getting plants almost every round, and also she's 9-2, getting the kills she needs.
It's a really tough spot to be in for Fly. Good news is the retake ults are crazy. Astral Wall combined with a Thrash, it sort of paralyzes you because you want to play off-site because of Thrash, but you also have to play on-site because you can't stick behind that wall.
Camera taken out.
5 rounds unanswered by FlyQuest since they won the pistol and converted. There's a chance. Dodo on the off angle picks off Noya.
No real lurk options now for Shopify, but that might not even be the end of the world for them. They're still battling into this A space. It's again a very light hold from FlyQuest. Sonder just trying to scout things out with the tracker. I mean, if we're getting kills like this, it doesn't matter if it's a light hold. FlyQuest are up big 5v3.
Right there.
And now a Thrash for the retake readied by Ev.
Eyes on mid though. Mel could get this round right back for Shopify.
No utility watching her. A game of timings. The Astra looks away. Thea's in the astral form, and Sarah's ready to pinch on through. Starbound will escape. Find an opening up towards Heaven as the Crash dives into sight and detains the player in Hell. Alexis dead. Mel dealt with. FlyQuest win their first round in 5.
I mean, FlyQuest win that round because everyone just succeeded in the gunfights. They got their 1-for-1s, or the 1-for-0s on the offlines. But you can still see how Shopify throws some challenges into the mix there. It was a 3-on-5, but they fought into CT and caught players down. It was only 2 players in CT because of a flank and a couple going into Heaven. It's something FlyQuest are going to have to look out for sure.
So how does Shopify reply after losing that first round? They're set up towards Garage. Maybe another chance for Floor to fight for one of these quick openers. Dodo is implying this angle most of these rounds, threatening the flash out Garage. She's there to receive again. Flash dart in. Dodo can't see anything. Spotted out, stunned up, and slided on. Fluorescent
Look at, they're still going! Floor's just on C! Absolutely unreal scenes as Alexis mops up in Garage too. Thea, with a couple of kills though, has control of the spike. Will give it away for a moment. And somehow, it's just 2-3.
But Floor stole the spike in all of that, ran all the way around the world for the second time in the round, and gets the plant down. Good post-plant positions. Floor can swing off either of her teammates. But there are still stars available.
And a wall.
Smokes to come in. Haunt as well. Instantly broken. Cat through. Sonder taken care of. The setup's excellent for Shopify to close the round. And yet again, when you let Floor get going at the start of these rounds, she does not slow down.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what agent you're playing. Phoenix,
What's
Jet,
the counterplay to that?
Reyna. Okay, Mimi, don't stand in the same off angle that is impossible to escape from 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Once you're there,
Yeah.
though, you're pretty much dead with the 3 pieces of utility and sliding neon.
And Alexis has her ult again, Mimi.
Yeah.
Like,
Right here.
Alexis might ult more than Dodo this game.
Dodo's at 2, Alexis at 1. We'll keep tabs on it. Hunter's Fury popped. That'll head towards the site, clear out some angles for Flaw, who slides on in and gets another opener to this round. Trades were better this time. Ev in the backside, the rookie stepping up for 2. A player above her. And they have very low HP here. Up top, it's not good enough. And Mel will pick off a second on Starbound swing.
Shadows traveling.
Run it back for Dodo Nut. That's the key to this round. Sarah taps. Mel repositions.
Revealing area.
Finally, Sarah will plant. Run it back. Thea takes care of Mel, and Dodo gets the other. FlyQuest nearly let that one slip away off Mel's heroics, but they survive and claim 4.
Very nicely done. Again, the anchoring, this time around, it's Ev getting that fast flood. That's what I was talking about. You need players busting it out of Link onto that A site because the retakes are so hard. At the same time, Dodo, while she finishes off the round with a nice play, got a big opener in mid. Again, FlyQuest mid fights keep going well when Shopify aren't sending 18 players into Garage immediately.
Alexis didn't use her Rolling Thunder last round, so again, she has it, and it's straight back to A for SR. Fluorescent takes that same space down long. She has many rounds before.
I think Shopify have been a little slow to identify that it's just one player on this site. Or maybe anticipating that FlyQuest changed their setup, because this is just a free site if you util dump onto the fade.
And, well, util dump they will, but would have liked to have that breach ult in the post plant.
Again,
Still,
FlyQuest fighting out into mid, making sure there's no late lurks coming in.
Sonder Heaven, one off her fade ult. She can get a kill here. The real issue is this utility. It has stalled them out on so many in a retake. Sonder up top, spam deals some damage, no kill. Cosmic Divide, first layer of util comes in, it's replied well, but that C's on the molly nearly kills Floor. She'll live on though. Next layer. Fly needs to get into this site quickly. Molly up. Dodo open. Swing towards hell. Those players need to be dealt with quickly. And Starbound will do it, but Noya's still alive. Cannot win the 1v1 against Starbound.
Starbound's so clutch right there, and FlyQuest just made the decision to go, go, go. There's a molly on their feet, and Dodo's just sprinting through it, not a care in the world. Somehow she's getting 2 kills in that play, in a half that was very close to just being Shopify running away with it. FlyQuest have really battled back in these last rounds.
Shopify do still have money for the final round of this half. And for the first time, they're setting all 5 players up early towards the C site. This one's going to be a bit quicker. Shock don't
Neon
line up.
ult's ready to go.
That should break the trip and allow Floor entry into the site. Shock's in. Did the job there. Both trips are gone, but so is Floor. Starbound has done their job, but getting a little overwhelmed by this utility. Sarah trades out. Danker's still alive, and teammates here in support. Ev, not as good as last round, though. Dies for it, and this has all gone so wrong. Sonder left alone, now trying to retake into a lost site. It's a hair of Noya. They'll take her down. Flood through. Another. Crosshair placement is perfection in the C's. Towards Cubby. Spots out both players. A real shot for Sonder. But the swing's too good. Sarah ends the round and ensures Shopify the better part of our first half.
Yeah, and you know, Sarah's utility there was just about perfect as well. No one shot the dart on site, so Dodo's quick flood was spotted out. FlyQuest's entire game plan that half was 1-3-1 and fast flood back into those A and C sites, but because of one silly dart, that goes entirely askew and gives Shopify the advantage heading into the second half.
It's a different half, but still, gotta watch out for Alexis and Floor. That combination can really cause troubles. So many of those rounds for SR were carried through off Fluorescent opening kills.
And FlyQuest comp just naturally plays way slower than the Neon. No way to seize that early space, so it's Fluorescent, the one creeping down into that mid. After Floor is spotted, though, you can see how FlyQuest speed up. They're like, okay, Neon is in mid. We can actually take this A space. So no fight coming in soon for Shopify.
Look at Thea, though. Tucked in cubby C long. She loves calling these types of rounds, setting herself up in a lurk position.
Spotted out on that cam.
Does that plenty rotates back towards C? No. Shopify steadfast in their 3 strong setup on C, and this is a dangerous proposition for Fly.
Yeah, Alexis is always holding on to this stun just to shut down an exec. FlyQuest have to bait this out, but the problem is they haven't actually made enough noise, and if they all get caught here, it's very hard to second wave hit this site. No dash onto the breach. Yeah, they're gonna have to bail out of this situation entirely.
So Thea now becomes the tip of the spear. Util set up to take back towards garage, and they'll commit it.
30 seconds
Shopify,
left.
do they want to play on the site here? Noya will creep in. Just on the other side of that smoke is Mel from behind, deals damage, but Noya is taken care of. So a plant in for FlyQuest, but this retake is going to come quickly. Shock darts find Sonder. 10 seconds and another! The utility is perfection, and here comes Floor sliding into the site. The plant goes down. 1 kill found for Dodo, but Floor ahead of it trades through, and Shopify Rebellion win it on the retake.
Sarah, I'm telling you, Sarah is the best Sova player in Game Changers.
No
2 shock
contest.
dart kills that round. Then the dart comes out and gets 2 full pings on all of the players on site. Are you kidding me? We haven't even seen her have an insane ult yet, but I'm telling you, the way she uses that ability is just ungodly too.
One enemy remaining.
And that round felt like the chance for FlyQuest, getting an opening pick, weaseling their way into an open C site, and it's all taken away from them.
FlyQuest actually got a little bit more than usual here, and they're going to be punished for it big time. 2 sheriffs and a ghost, and Floor simply doesn't care.
Yeah, 2 shots, 2 kills. Kalat on the Guardian. And she just has free reign to patrol this map now.
Oh dear. She's still hunting for you.
2 slides. Sarah will deny the chances of an ace here. Still, that's going to be 1 pick closer to the ultimate for Floor. 1 away with the flawless round.
Yeah, my fear for FlyQuest is because they bought 3 pistols this round, they might have some light armors. That's 3 light armors, and newsflash, there is a Guardian on the other team. Also, one thing people... sorry, yeah, I meant Outlaw first, and then I was going to say, you don't appreciate the fact that you can double body shot the light armor with a Guardian and get some frags there too.
Do you think Floor's going to body shot, though?
No, did I ever imply that? I would
It
never
felt
say
like
that.
an implication. It's
I would never say that.
okay. Moving on.
Or
4
only
players
headshots.
on A. For Shopify, here comes the trap. Activated. Blinds in. Floor turns 1 flash and doubles down with her teammate Sarah. Spikes on the floor. Mel's holding the line, and look who's coming. The half armor players picked out of this round
Disaster.
by
Disaster.
Melange.
I mean, the timing there on the smokes, half a second off from throwing the cage while the actual big smoke falls, but it's enough. That's all Mel needs to get. Quick update for you. Those were all body shots from Fluorescent,
Oh, my bad.
as I correctly called.
Okay.
Yeah, look at
It
that.
is
I mean,
known.
the cage, it's just going to get popped, and they rush it ever so slightly.
I feel like so many of these FlyQuest Shopify series feel like this, right? Shopify start with a strong early lead. FlyQuest feel like they're coming back. They start getting rounds together, and then there's just that 1 round
Revealing
that is
area.
the dagger in that comeback. Here it's a bonus round win for Shopify, which puts them on 10, and FlyQuest with only sheriffs in this 16th round.
You have to start getting some lurks activated, finding some kills somehow, but it's just not happening. Fluorescent is just disgusting.
The crosshair placement, man. It's unreal. They's gonna test
Nice
her.
bait.
And there's the slide in.
Oh my.
Floor will be denied the ace yet again. What is that, the third 4K of this game?
Second of the half.
Yeah. Saunder has no shot. She'll fall. It's 11 to the incumbents.
Trust me, they'll know.
Incumbents, I like that. Shopify holding on to the trophy. I mean, literally, when you look at it this year, obviously, FlyQuest, Shopify, every single final. But when you look at the last 3 times these teams have played, it's been a best of 3 going Shopify's way. Then in the first open qualifier, best of 3 that went, of course, to FlyQuest.
Yeah, the first time they ever beat Shopify.
Yeah. But then the last final these teams played, it went the distance. That was still with Lace in the team for FlyQuest. For Ev was confirmed as the final player in this roster. But that game went, or that series went all 5 games. It was a true push from FlyQuest to challenge Shopify.
Timeout called here for FlyQuest. I think the big questions are what to do with these power ults. Run it back, and a Gecko ult available in this round.
I mean, this might be playing not to lose, but I genuinely think they need to be not using all their ults this round. Like, if you could get away this round with like just using a Thrash for a hit, next round you have the Fade ult and the Phoenix ult. You can combo those. Like, that gives you your best chance, because I really don't think that this comp from FlyQuest can seriously contest Shopify to win realistically 7 attacking rounds here. That's just really, really hard with losing the pistol. I think they are going to rely a ton on their ultimates to actually get the spike down on the ground.
Talk of ultimates, Sarah's gonna have hers. Now Shopify can choose to give a site here. Use that Hunter Sphere to flood back in.
Yeah. Makes sense that FlyQuest are playing tons more for mid control. Garage, B. Take those fights where it's much closer angles where you can pop flash around a corner, surprise Shopify, and then set up for a post plan.
Find you.
This is a B setup for Shopify. Floor's ready to go off Alexis's utility. And FlyQuest are scared away from what could have been a disaster.
Here.
Instead, they head back towards C, and this is a weaker site right now. Only the site for anchoring, but support is very close.
Starbat is trying to make a lot of noise in short, and we're going straight into Garage. Mel counters out with the paranoid, and she's going for it. Look at her get in there. Noya swinging around the corner for 3 herself. Spike belongs to Shopify Rebellion, and all Thea can do is watch.
They're in the walls, running through smokes. Not a care in the world for Shopify Rebellion.
Hold on.
Starbound almost stole it back.
30
Leaves
seconds.
it now
They've
on
been
the
so
shoulders of their IGL. Alexis spotted, that's ahead. Sarah dives straight
Thea!
into Thea. Who else but her to win another clutch and keep FlyQuest in this game?
FlyQuest IGL is just the most insane player in clutch time. One nasty shot there, tracking Sarah to finish it off with a Red Bull clutch. You couldn't ask for anything more, and that is the round that would have wrapped up the game, but Thea has kept her team in it.
And you called it out. They only had to use the Gecko ult that round. This means they have the Fade ult, Phoenix ult combo. Follow the trails, the players are damaged. It's a real good advantage for Fly to gain.
Shopify send that stun into lobby, but it's a ruse. Fluorescent has crept down into mid. Noya has been seen, but Fluorescent is fully unexpected here for the time being.
This is a scary position. Fly to navigate the double swing in, and of course Floor goes still 1 for 1. And Mel has the trade as well. Somehow, Shopify come out the better of that engagement, and that ult combo we were just hyping up, it's off the table.
And the info from the hat tells FlyQuest, okay, what, there's players everywhere? Mostly around mid. Starbound is going to have to get active
Timing?
and seize this round back for FlyQuest. They find the first one, and that might be C open as well. Big dodge away, staying full HP, has brought things into a 3-on-3 post plant, and Fly have full control of backside to CT.
This is a scary post plant for Fly, though. Playing off site, SR still have smokes. Playing on site, there's so much retake utility. So instead, they walk through spawn, And that spike is planted for long. Sarah is going to clear into this. Spots out 2, maybe even 3 in that area. Thea's now known. Everyone's position spotted for SR. It's the duo, Lexi and Mel, to try and win out this round and push their team to 12. Smoke on the spike, aftershock in. Bit of cover, swing through, but Evan starbound, better for it. 7 rounds for FlyQuest.
What a round. I mean, Starbound winning that one single-handedly for FlyQuest, getting that monster pick in C-Link there. And the fact is, the deeper we get into these rounds, when players are dead, when big abilities are in cooldown, that's where FlyQuest are really going to thrive. The agents they picked have tons of individual tools that they can fight off of. The Gecko, the Phoenix, the Fade, even Aster to an extent. FlyQuest are going to want to make these rounds chaotic, activate lurks, and pull Shopify around the map.
4 players down A for Shopify Rebellion.
I mean, every round it's been this flame wall to threaten going into a lurk. Your budget jet smoke, if you are.
Sarah sees 1 on the drone. And Shopify repositioned to deal with the threat of a B pop.
Yeah, Floor just zooming back around over to Seaside. I like the sweep from FlyQuest, though. Ulting over into Link, but it hits no one.
The breach backside, not spotted. Dodo's running straight past Alexis. Just
Somebody
let
look
the
at
Phoenix
Alexis.
run by and Starbound's behind her. All good for FlyQuest. They've lit up the board for 4 kills. And Sarah only has 10 health in this one. Spam through. Molly at her feet. And Ev to finish.
Yeah, good luck. And that, Ev getting the last kill, that gives Thrash back. FlyQuest, everything's going right for them right now. Like, the vision is starting to form. FlyQuest have perfectly synced up these ults. Every single round, Mimi, they've used these ults to win out. And because they've staggered them up, now Ev has that back. Thea still has that wall to get things going. Shopify are going to have to call yet another timeout because even with the half buy last round, they're still in a bit of a bad situation.
Economically speaking, not great. But in terms of ults, that's a little bit different. Alexis is 1 off the Rolling Thunder. Floor has her finger guns available on that Neon. So there's still a chance to cook something up here on the Eco.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest miss so far from Shopify this half has been not getting an operator pick online. Now, yes, they're not playing the Jet, so it's a little bit more awkward. You don't have like a true op agent, but FlyQuest comp should really struggle dealing with an op. They don't have a lot of ways to push you off of angles. You can dodge away from dizzies very easily as long as someone is there to break a fade haunt, for example. It's not as powerful at spotting out an op as, for example, a Sova pick. So I'd love to see them save up and maybe get that online for Mel. I think she would find a lot of success playing top B and peeking out into mid, because that's where a lot of the slow play from FlyQuest has been. It's been working that space into mid or into garage, and then playing the round after they can find some information off of that.
They are mine.
Floor is the danger this round. With her ult online and Bucky posted up down short. But as we've seen many rounds before, is that her name now?
I think so.
Okay.
She's the danger.
She is the danger.
Cage triggered.
I think the move for Shopify this round again is we're stacking B. If they come here, it's going to be great, but as soon as we get info into garage, fast rotate, get out into this site to fight against FlyQuest. Well, honestly, I think it's all a ruse, because check out where Dodo is, by the way. Just holding onto that space, making sure Shopify can't get up into that. They don't have to use
Surely
U
she
tool to
wouldn't
reclear
walk
that.
into a Bucky though, right? She wouldn't
You'd hope
wouldn't
not.
walk into a Bucky and
79
die.
HP. Wait,
That
she's
wouldn't
low.
happen. That's a gun. Mel can recover it.
Mel was the danger all along.
Wasn't Floor at the end of
Heisenberg.
the day. That is her last name.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds. FlyQuest only have one choice. Late hit into A. They're going to have to use ults at this point in the round. Cosmic Divide up, so it's a retake for SR. What can they make of it? Overdrive still online for Floor. 2 rifles in their hands. And FlyQuest playing fully off-site. They'll fight back in with the Thrash, but no one's even arrived on site. The Fish, it's gonna come up empty. We'll try and turn around, but will not be recoverable in this one. Stun through. Floor diving out onto the site. Oh, popped around the corner. She is dead. Great work by Ev, and Sanya lines up a double on the Odin. She'll spray them down and keep this round in control for FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, a win's a win. FlyQuest needed that, but Shopify ate up 2 big ultimates, all thanks to the work of Mel, getting that kill with the shotgun. Shopify also used their paranoia and their breach stun really early in the exec, and that's what pulled out the Thrash too. Never intending to play off of that one. And what that means is that this round, Shopify have a major ultimate advantage. This is the round to win. If Shopify can't convert off of these ults, FlyQuest are either winning or at the very least we're going OT.
For the first time this game, it's a walk down C from Shopify Rebellion. Verizon won't see anyone. That's because it's just a fast pop into this B site. Aftershock? Well, there's no one there to receive it. Instead, they're pivoting back towards C, and now this late lurk down C long could become all the more potent. 2 players there, 2 towards spawn, but where are FlyQuest ending? They're doubling back again.
Dodo's just going for the insert, right? If they run out onto C, that's 5 players getting breach ulted, round over. Instead, by putting that utility in Garage, leaving Dodo here, this late lurk could be everything. They're looking for a late C pinch with whatever Dodo can find.
And Alexis is the one on the other side. Flash through. Alexis is dead. That was the player they wanted, though. No breach ult this round. They're going to be revealed by the neural theft and sprint all the way to A.
And watch Fluorescent. Look how fast this lurk is. She is absolutely sprinting down C long. Now, hits the brakes for a moment. But Shopify have 3 players here, and Fluorescent close on the heels.
Sarah's dart is so good. Only 1 for 1. Plant is successful. But that flank still an ever-present threat as Mel is causing trouble on this side. 1 by 1 they swing through, and 1 by 1 they fall. Shopify Rebellion win the round they needed.
So huge there. The neural theft from Noya, after getting that kill in Garage window, told Shopify everything they needed to get that flood onto the A site and to win out in the fight. Again, another beautiful reveal. I believe off of yet one more Sarah dart to get those kills through. I mean, that was still such a cool round from both teams. That started off with a fake wingman plant on B site, by the way, to bait out util before running over into Garage. Unfortunately for FlyQuest, the fights there just did not work out. And also, they didn't get the Rolling Thunder. The worst news FlyQuest have had all day.
3 rounds away from overtime for FlyQuest. And it's the same play as last round. Double walk up for SR. This wasn't seen last time. This time Thea spots it and manages to take down Floor. There is not a trade in sight. So now Mel in a bit of a no man's land, stuck between the players executing onto C and the threat of a player still holding down long. They're just going to run her down. Overwhelming odds against Mel. The teleport to get away is swinging. She's gone.
And the Rolling Thunder full whiffs on site. FlyQuest have gotten everything, except somehow Noya's getting kills through the smoke. Starbound now up into window, gets a picture-perfect repeat of the kill from a few rounds ago. And they're going even deeper. With the reveal, can set up these fights absolutely perfectly, while the red carpet is open for plant on B.
Starbound's kill is massive. Noya dead. And Alexis in Garage, cut off from the rest of her team who have already fallen. A 1v4. And FlyQuest, winning the round was big. But in some ways even more important, wasting that Rolling Thunder.
Oh yeah. I mean, it starts off with a huge punish down long, right? Floor trying to do crazy movement to bait for Mel. But they landed the shot that really set the pace for this round. FlyQuest are still going to have to replicate this 2 more times. And they've really shown so much of a focus on fighting into mid. It's hard to imagine that Shopify just keep letting them get away with this. I don't think Shopify are going to have a full buy until round 24.
again for FlyQuest, they're so good in these really complicated round states, I think, at realizing where the gap is and finding that opportunity. It's been Starbound so many times in the chaos, getting through, activating that lurk, and really changing these rounds.
Wow, Shopify are going for it. They're buying 4 rifles and a sheriff. Could have full saved for the last, but fear of more ults coming online for Fly, I think, has pushed them this direction.
Hunter's Fury connected
Huge.
off the stun. Ev is dead. And that is an unreplied opener as Fluorescent walks through.
Floor's still
Starbound
going for
doesn't
this.
know. And Starbound spotted now. Does Floor keep this one moving? Dodo's on the other side. Swing through, Starbound gone. Floor on the stun, slide forward. And Dodo stays alive for a moment. Ult to try and stay in it. Floor's out of here.
That ult's going to be really big, though, because even if Dodo doesn't get anything, Dodo will heal back up to 100 HP. Snapping out of that one was down to just one shot off a completely random headshot from the spray through the wall of Floor. And if you look at things right now, Shopify only have 3 guns. FlyQuest still have a lot of chances to fight through this. Double curveballs for Dodo. And only one set of eyes on this B site.
Sarah jiggling.
Right there.
Thea spots her out.
30
But
seconds
SR want to
left.
play this one together.
Taking that back.
FlyQuest need an opener, though.
25 seconds.
They gotta plant quickly. Dart already used. That seize is good from Sonder, but Sarah's just running ahead of it. Wasn't stuck out. Now where are they going? 15 seconds. Spike's still not planted. They're getting kills, but that spike has to go down. 10 seconds. Saunders on the run into C. She'll be able to get the plant across, but the troops are here. And coming for time! The shorty around the corner for the final frag, and Shopify Rebellion strike first in the finals.
All right. A little bit of class, a little style there coming at the end from Floor to finish things off. I mean, obviously, Shopify come out of the gate swinging its 1-0, but FlyQuest mounted a pretty insane comeback there to make things come down to almost OT.
A solid effort from FlyQuest Red, but not enough to win this one. Still, a BO5 and a lot of chances to come back into this one for FlyQuest. We'll see how it goes when map number 2 is up on our return.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
At Verizon, every phone can be the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Wow, phones are going to be flying to Verizon.
At Verizon, new and existing customers can get iPhone 16 Pro and a new iPad, all on us. Only on Verizon.
We're going to be kicking it off hot here in the grand finals. Haven, first map of the series, and it's going to go in the way. I think we picked it, Shopify Rebellion. Going into this, Athena, I mean, these two teams, we've talked about this match so much. FlyQuest bringing out the comp we've got to see before, but still so much fun with the Phoenix. It was kind of a roller coaster at some points, though.
Yeah, for sure. It was actually so fun to watch how intricate and dynamic both these teams were. Both were being super aggressive when they needed to be, being really, really proactive, taking a lot of map control, trying to get as much information around the map, and at the end of the day, also just fragging out from so many players, so many clutches. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was the util usage from both these teams to make this game so close.
A couple of the little set plays as well that these teams were able to put together, especially Shopify when you're looking at getting these last couple of rounds, was so much fun. Although there was definitely a point in time where I didn't necessarily think the scoreline would be as close as it was, but really being able to see the series change and adapt was just a great way to be kicking off.
Yeah, I think the first half of the match, and I'm not even talking about like the actual in-game rounds half, that sort of thing. I'm just talking about the game states as it was defined by the Cypher players actually, and how each team was trying to approach those players, right? I think Starbound was the first kill multiple times in the first 5 rounds for Shopify, and then all of a sudden they're the ones anchoring. And when it comes to the attack side, they were absolutely doing the exact same thing that Noya was, right? They were finding so many open lurks. You saw in the highlights there how many important battles were fought in C-Link. And that's not somewhere where you normally are seeing the amount of flanks going on in that. We had like 5+ rounds end because of situations that occurred right there. But the other half was definitely individual performances topped off and paired up with some fantastic util and calls from the IGLs.
I actually feel like exactly what you said. Also in the second half of the round, Starbound just abusing the rotations and abusing the timing so many rounds brought them back into what we thought was going to be a super quick game or a super one-sided game. So 100% agree with you there. I think the rotations and the lurking from both sides really played into it, but it also played into how both these teams had their play styles going into it. No one just like, I think Shopify had the higher extent of just sending it with an execute on their attack side, but both teams still prioritized their map control first, which I thought was super, super cool to watch, especially knowing that both teams are kind of like, you know, chilling, playing it just a tiny bit slower, setting up their trap plays and setting up their util because they know that this is the grand finals.
I mean, to see a map that came down to how it was for the first map was just a great time. And it was something, too, that one team would start to get a little bit of momentum, and then the other would pick it back, Paula. Looking back at a couple of these earlier rounds, talking about this shift that happened as well.
Yeah, right away, I think in the second half, right, you had this pistol round where you've had some fantastic retakes going on, but you have this play right here. Floor paired the shock with the dart coming in, the aftershock, the stun. Right before that, you have Sarah with 2 fantastic shock dart kills. And then Floor, right off this, peeks garage with a guardian. Like, what are you talking about? Gets this on these eco frags for sure, but this sort of thing for a player like Floor is exactly what gets Shopify into the game real early here. And you'll see again, obviously the quick flank from the Neon, really, really good, trapping these players up in here. This is not too crazy, but what I'm looking at here is a shift with these last couple of rounds that we're watching here, and the amount of APM that Floor requires to get it, they get hot, right? Look at this, instantly down, again the relay bolt, the aftershock coming in, the triple push coming in A. It's exactly the sort of thing that you were talking about, Athena, about the really, really good calls and structure being placed there by Shopify.
And that was their bonus round. I mean, they literally did all that. They had that set play ready for their bonus, and that actually brought them again into that next round to have the other team on a thrifty, which I think is just like so good. And it just shows that how close Shopify are to kind of mastering their gameplay in a way where they use this comp for a reason. They're actually utilizing all their util. They're actually playing this comp to their strengths. They're setting up the plays, they're setting up the util, they're setting up the timings, and everything just based off of one person's contact. So yeah, super high props for Shopify for sending it with this comp.
And there's quite a few people across the board. The entire team deserves props, but when you're talking about that shift of momentum, you got to talk more about Floor, because Floor for the first part of the game, definitely wasn't having a bad game. But from what we get to see, we got to see everything. Whereas the pop-off that we started seeing later on, it's just, first off, Floor on a Neon, amazing to watch at the end. It's always just absolute zoomer stuff. I love it. But some of these plays, like, FlyQuest didn't have a response. If it was Floor still alive, well, round's a little scary.
I mean, the thing with Floor is that they can kind of do it all, right? They can entry, they can take aggressive defensive control, they can lurk, they can flank, and every single time that she did manage to get into those spots, she absolutely took so much advantage, got the frags, got the kills. I mean, we know Floor as this superstar power fragger, and she just showed us in this game how much it is. Like, beyond just fighting against FlyQuest, it's also fighting against the second best team in North America and fighting against Dodonut, who's also considered the second best duelist in North America. So it goes to show how much impact Floor actually has during this game.
We've had a couple of discussions so far on the desk when we've been watching Shopify here about Floor and how Shopify has been molding her into playing some of these agents, the more abusable agents, I guess you could say. Obviously, she's been a Jet star in the past, but now adding Neon, Yoru might be upcoming. You know, these sorts of agents are agents with a high skill cap, one that is not easy to attain. And I think when you think about players who would really push the Neon tool set and skill set to its maximum, you actually do think of Floor up there, along with people like Jogamo, the people who are super active with their movements. And you see it right there. You absolutely do. It's so difficult as Dodonut in that game to keep up.
Yeah, and you're talking about a Yoru potentially upcoming here. His next map in the series is going to be Ascent. Being able to see both these teams in the past, Shopify being able to lean into this Yoru. FlyQuest Red and attempted to slow down Sonder on the deadlock here, Athena. And now this is FlyQuest map pick too.
Yeah, the double senties for both these teams makes a lot of sense. However, this Yoru is going to be super important for Floor because they're going to need to be able to get a lot of the information in order to make the right calls and get those first picks. We saw a couple times throughout this event that the Yoru didn't really work out that well because they didn't have enough space to take on a site when they're ready to execute because they don't have any of those movement agents other than Yoru and his ult. But it still might work out because Shopify, they just showed us that as a team, when they have this comp set in stone, they play a lot around traps. They play a lot around how they want to set up the team for those frags and for those kind of crossfires. But for FlyQuest, we've seen Donut pop off on this Jet before. I'm looking to see this aggressive operator going crazy. I'm looking to see a lot of these operator shots going crazy. So I don't know. This one is up in the air. Personally, I like the Jet pick over the Yoru.
I'm just looking for a FlyQuest Red to go crazy here. Try and tie up this series and try and make sure they can match that momentum. But it's time to get underway with Ascent. Time to head back over to your casters, Ender and Mimi.
Thanks very much, Sierra. Yes, we're in for a treat with these comps. The last time these teams played on Ascent, it was the last GC finals. It was vanilla as could be. Default comps across the board. Shopify crushed FlyQuest 13-6, but now completely different ballgame with the double Senti.
Yeah, it's so different. But for FlyQuest, they literally played against this exact composition yesterday in the hands of YFP. They came away with a big win. The only difference, the Yoru for the Jet, which honestly, I really love the Yoru on this map with these comps. But ultimately, it was Dodonut that went completely insane yesterday. 32 kills, 10 deaths on this map of Ascent.
She's considered the second best in GC for a reason. Fighting to try and show that maybe she could be the best, but overtaking Floor always going to be difficult. It's a full walk up towards B main, but a lot of utility awaiting on this site. Trip from the Cypher, Sonic Sensor, Keeper, and Lexus with a wall to zone off her little safe haven in
Smoke's coming in
Boathouse.
too.
She has a lot of support here. Diving over the wall though, Ev has gotten ahead of it. That's an open kill for FlyQuest. And now Shopify Rebellion have a bit of a tough retake ahead of them.
Now, FlyQuest don't have any control over main. They don't even have someone boosted up onto lane, so Shopify aren't going to run into too much resistance. The problem, though, are the trips and the stuns of these double senties.
And the one-ways, too. There's a lot of utility keeping them out. Noya, though, she doesn't give a damn. Swings straight through, goes 1 for 1, but the rest of her team not into the site yet. One-way fading. 2 players from lane swing together. That's a dink on the Boathouse player, but they need a lot more. That's 1. Sonder dancing around, needs to deal with the stairs player, and they succeed in that to win out the round. Good pistol for FlyQuest.
Yeah, honestly, we saw yesterday FlyQuest come out of the gate and struggle a lot in their earlier rounds. They got shut down by YFP's mid-aggression more often than not, and then Jovi called a timeout, and all they did after that was run execs, and those were wildly effective. So already on pistol round, yeah, it's pistol round, so things might change a little bit, but we'll see if they continue with this similar style of just hard execing a lot, which you'd think would be really hard into the double senties, but as long as those senties aren't stacked up with their utility on the same site, it's not as concerning as you might imagine.
And this round is the exact opposite. No senti utility, but a camera to watch FlyQuest run in and claim their free A site.
Yeah, there's even a crouch nade put in tree, so no one can come running out of that smoke. Nothing for Noya to do back there, but eventually take it out? I don't know.
And you were talking about this on the pistol. This is where this comp gets real scary. Walls up, sonic sensors in, tripwires even placed at your feet. It is so brutal to deal with all of that utility when you're facing against the timer on the spike.
Actually, a defensive smoke just to let Shopify drop down into hell here. Ev's crept around this with the Stinger, though, and I think it's about to be a meat grinder as they come down into the smoke. Shopify get a whole lot of kills, but at the end of the day, Noya now faced off against players on both sides of her, dart spotting her out, players running around like absolute mad. She's getting the kills, but she can't quite finish the deal, and that will be a very chaotic second round win for FlyQuest.
But a very expensive round for FlyQuest. All 5 players falling in that one, and we were talking about this last game. They're not a team that likes taking risks with their economy. They're going to be fully down on Sheriffs in this one, and that's a big advantage in this round 3 for Shopify.
Yeah, a bit frustrating. It'll be hard to punish the light armor buys that Shopify went for with a couple of pistols themselves. As a matter of fact, Floor, reading the situation, goes for a round 3 outlaw, which I really like the decision on this one here. Floor plays a lot around this mid space, whether it's creeping up into bottom mid, just looking for a fight before TPing out, or here, not being spotted by the drone. It doesn't reach far enough, so now Floor has a little bit more time left with that teleport. She wants to look for something.
Shock darts in, but they didn't find the sonic sensor, and nor did they deal with the wall. Alexis doesn't really want to take a duel here, instead just keeping them at bay with her utility as Floor wraps around and gets a kill. All these players very nicely cordoned off.
We're seriously still fighting this angle. That's a little bit ridiculous, and honestly, FlyQuest pistol work has been pretty excellent. They even have a plant on the A site now.
This round has suddenly gotten very worrisome. Noya here's Starbound, that's a freebie. So numbers back, but these are 2 rifles now in the 3v2.
Paranoia to play with as well.
A flank though from Noya. That'll come quite late into this round. She's arriving now.
No one's looking at it.
1 flash from Floor. That'll buy attention. Then Noya will activate her lurk. She's out. 1 kill picked up. Dodo low on health, but not cleared. Now a 1v2 dash procced, but Floor holding the angle. And the Outlaws are 1 shot there.
Yeah, quick little upgrade there for Floor as well. Can switch over to the Phantom and get things back on track for Shopify. FlyQuest are going to remember this, and I think from the VODs they've seen of Shopify on this map, they'll know that Floor gets super active around bottom mid. It doesn't matter if you smoke that. There can always be a pop flash coming out there, or Floor just hanging out in that space. It's actually pretty annoying to dislodge a Yoru, right? Like, if a Jet's playing bottom mid, it's really hard to stick around there for an extended period of time after you're known, because you can't dash the full distance out of there. You need smokes to cover your escape, but Floor on the Yoru, as long as there's a teleport set up, she can hang out there for as long as her heart desires.
Net into mid. Flash combined.
And
spam
Odin
off
done.
it. No one was
Yeah,
there.
the spam would come in if the dart pinged, but it's a slight variation on a pretty common play there.
Yeah,
using the
classic,
deadlock net to set up for that kill, though.
Leviathan kind of play.
Some say Leviathan, some say Teddy Tactics.
In many ways, the Leviathan of Game Changers.
Not
I've
really.
heard that.
Nice opener, though, from Starbound. Not sure if Mel's judge is going to be correctly dealt with, though. She's shooting through that smoke, perhaps. Surely FlyQuest don't exec into the judge, right?
Sure.
You just get straight out of there.
I think they're all grouping up, though. Hat
They have a
thrown from
hat.
Starbound. That should shoo Mel away, push her back from this smoke. All the way back
Floor
onto
just
the
TP'd
site.
out. The guys.
Floor's all the way at A. Don't worry, there's a clone. It's gone. And now Mel is in some deep trouble backside, but they're not heading for her. Instead, Fly run into spawn, and Floor holds the line! 3 kills! It's just despotic what she can do. And now they're going straight into the judge. This round should be cooked. A classic for Mel, and that's how she wins it! I've witnessed a crime on the B site. And there are 2 culprits.
All part of the plan, I suppose. Fluorescent TP's off of the B site. Little did we know she's still anchoring it just from spawn. I mean, gosh, FlyQuest, the initial fight worked for them just because I guess Sarah was face checking the smoke, but the limitation is you don't have a flash, so they go dry swinging into spawn after getting what they came for initially. And that just goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Floor isn't slowing down. Another outlaw purchased.
It's interesting, though, because this is exactly what YFP was doing to FlyQuest in mid. That was abusing them. A lot of those mid plays towards tiles. That's a new wrinkle on it. Starbound's going to want this round back.
It was just the sheriffs, but still a tough way to go that early on. And look at Noya. No respect shown.
But the thing is, because you have one less piece of initiator utility, right? You don't have the KO dart, whether you're throwing that cat or tiles for some spam, some flashes to keep fighting deeper. Apart from just lurking into the space in mid and using omen smokes to cut down the gap, it's really hard to seize that space if a defender is fighting aggressively for it, which Shopify are. Noya got that kill in main, walked fully into tiles, and shuts down that late lurk or that rotate from Fly.
Do you think the double Sensi mirror skews it more defensive-sided than normal?
I would say so, yeah. But really, it just skews it to whoever's holding a site wins, right? Because
Be that
I think
attacker defense.
Yeah, if you're an attacker and you get your deadlock util down in a post plant, like, good luck making it back in. I think the biggest problem in this double Senti mirror matchup is the Yoru pick. Because Yoru clone completely nullifies everything you're trying to do. Not only does it eat up a Cypher tripwire, but it also makes the noise required to prime a sonic sensor. So whenever you're doubling down on that util in chokes, one clone can instantly ruin that. Or you can just TP past it entirely. So I think it's just a lot harder for FlyQuest to play because of that one ability. And that's definitely going to be a problem for them if they're not finding ways to either bait out that clone or kill Floor early in rounds.
And unfortunately for FlyQuest, their clone is Dodo Nut playing on the jet. She's the one who's had to entry into these sites. They're really trying, Evis, to get the right shock darts to deal with that utility early.
Yeah.
But SR's done a really good job of varying their setups. And in a lot of these rounds, Dodo's getting caught by a stun, picked off on the entry, and then Shopify are snowballing.
And look, jet knives are cool. They can get you a lot of kills, but Floor can also press ult and then ping on map where all of the Sentinel utility is, where all of the players are as well. So it's frustrating, that's for sure. But FlyQuest, again, they beat this comp yesterday, and they beat it because Dodo Nut was an absolute beast in the server.
But most of that performance came on the defense. To get there, they're going to need at least a few more round wins on this attacking side. And this one is a great opportunity. 2 big ultimates online. If someone is spotted out of position, Sonder has the Annihilation ready.
There's also going to be a fast TP from Floor. Actually, it just times out, so now is the window to abuse for Fly.
A dart off contact for Sarah.
The problem is Jet's in mid, so I don't think they're actually doing anything. They're just waiting for a jump peek, waiting for Shopify to do a bit of trolling. And a bit of trolling would be this deadlock wall. That deadlock wall is a bit of trolling.
They can walk out. They'll choose to break it anyway. Alexis backside. Ult coming in for Sarah. Connects it, tag, no kill, annihilation. Cannot find anyone. Alexis dukes it out. She's alive amid the chaos. Going 1-for-1 is more than you could have ever hoped for that soul side anchor. 4v4 on the retake. Sonder has the plant.
And now FlyQuest bunker themselves inside. They have 2 sensors they need to put down quickly. Because Shopify, look at Floor. She's on the move.
And she spots out the player in main. Paranoia being held by the Omen. That'll get sent in as Sarah finds a spam onto Sonder. Bring up for Dodo. Big kill. The FlyQuest player's still trapped on this side, and the Omen locked away and gone. That's the down Floor. The widest swing you've ever seen. Not a matter for her. Starbound in the dark cover. A diving Floor. Mel sticking on this spike halfway. She's not stopping. Mel is sticking. And Noya defends.
Just a ridiculous round there. What just happened? Floor is ulting into main, getting the kill there, running and getting headshots.
Chrissy, that was a Floor round.
Let's just appreciate it. First of all, Alexis getting this kill is just insane.
1 enemy remaining.
And then, okay, no, it was not safe to show on stream. We weren't going to show those kills again from Floor. That wide swing would send fear into the eyes of anyone watching.
Defensive operator on the Yoru.
Get out of my way!
Shopify didn't op at all on Haven. Now the first chance they get, Floor's ready to go with that one. I really dig taking the passive op lines too. Check it out. Top right heaven. That's where Floor is posted.
Swing in as that exec is coming through.
Yeah, make them come to you. I mean, there's a camera too that'll spot them coming around the corner. So we can set it up off of that as well.
Stun, Paranoia. Dodo stuck in this corner. Mel deals with the threat, escapes. And the op now activated. 1-2 switch up, and Shopify get a double to start this round.
Yeah, FlyQuest, they're still going up into heaven though. Floor ready for this. Smoked in right on that smoke. It's another one. The bodies keep coming and they keep on hitting the floor. Finally, Sonder, the last one, netted up. Nowhere to go. Shopify get yet another. And we'll be able to recover that up.
Recoverate?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for that.
That's the word.
Still though, I mean, that bait and switch setup was so nice from Shopify. Having Mel swing out with the util combo off the trap play, and then having
it's all
another
off the Cypher
wrinkle.
cam, by the way.
Yeah.
Noya was in that Cypher cam, saw players in tree, that's what Mel got the first kill off of. Saw the player in main, that's what Floor got the second kill off of.
So many layers to the Shopify defense. For the second game in a row, it's a pistol round win to Fly, and then 5 on the trot for Shopify repelling it. Last game, this was Fly's chance. Let's see if it is again. Wall up. Mel flying in front of it and tagged out by the Hunter Siri. She'll live on, see another day, fight another enemy in main as she'll teleport back. Thea wants to try and get through that smoke, and IGL on IGL. It's the attacker dead. No chance for FlyQuest on A.
No smokes either, so re-clearing mid. Gonna be a bit terrifying. See most players just deciding to rotate back in through spawn. That op could have moved to just about anywhere at this point.
B is the weak site.
Yeah, the only way FlyQuest can play this round is by contacting into angles. They have no smokes to work with, so make some presence in mid or B and hope that Starbound's able to find something with the audio players rotating off of A.
Drone spots one in mid. Trip broken. Cam spots out one. And an Omen ult to support Noya. Now 2 players anchoring on B. And with 25 seconds, Fly.
We're gonna spawn! Look at spawn!
They need the fight, and Floor has the better angle. A flash through. FlyQuest stuck out in the open. They can't see a damn thing. The Odin's holding them back, and the time has ticked too far. Spike on the floor, shock in their face. This one's over.
Can Floor hear me? Like, what's happening? She instantly
you
just
gotta stop
snapped on a
coming.
90-degree angle, gets the kill. Just was a bit of a nowhere there, right?
does
Those
feel
anchors
like
from Shopify, they're calling, hey, they're not flooding into sight. Carrier spawn, instant kill.
It does seem like a really risky play to try and go for a spawn fight with 25 seconds. I don't see the out there. Even if you get these kills, do you even have time to run to A?
No, I think they would have gone back into B. The problem is
Sure.
they didn't want to take that fight immediately because of the Omen ult, right? So
Yeah.
there's 2 players on that site. That's not going to be an easy one. They're thinking we're down in numbers. We can get this free pick on the players rotating spawn, then play the rest of the round. But yeah, that is 6 in a row.
And FlyQuest, not in the best financial situation. A hero rifle for Starbound. A Guardian for their duelist. And another look from Shopify, this time aggressive. Floor's walked into main. Hello. They is
No
dead.
smokes again. 2 rounds in a row. The first player to fall.
Across the map.
You killed A main, and then 2 seconds later, you kill B main.
Floor's in the walls. She's everywhere.
Floor's
She's gonna get a kill
omnipresent.
mid, isn't she?
Omnipresent, omniscient. She knows where you are, and she'll be there too.
Ev, don't do it. Floor's just holding this one. They'll leave.
Portal closed.
Throw a wall in spawn. Rotate back towards A. Look who's here. Deadlock set up with sonic sensors. Mel with the paranoia. There's just no in.
Working on their leg day there, trying to make it upstairs.
It's Floor again. She's always in the right spot.
Triple net, by the way.
And a shorty for Floor. There's one. Around the corner. Oh, picked up again. Floor flicks. Can't find the shot, though. And Dodo, okay. 15 seconds needed that kill, though. And the opportunity slips her by.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds left to get the plant and try and find some success. Mel will walk through, and the time, it's gone.
This is a shellacking. The last time these
7
teams faced
rounds.
off on Ascent, it wasn't really close either.
I cannot believe Floor gets a kill. A main, TP's B, gets a kill B main, repositions Cat, gets a kill Catwalk.
Here.
Always in the right place. Attack Cypher op. It's a new one.
I mean, I guess you gotta fight fire with fire. It's a slow contact game with these comps, and you need something that can one-shot Floor, because Floor will not give you a second chance. That's a great opener, and look at that, Dodonut into the site as well. Mel hiding in her own smoke. That's so interesting. Hanging out in that one, and it's gonna force FlyQuest over into the Cypher setup.
And that trip was not broken by the first shock. Sarah's now arrived. Floor's on her way too. They might have waited too long on this one. Into the site and immediately dead. There's no chance for FlyQuest. The Scythe operator
Oh no.
just can't get out of that one.
And you know what? There's good news and there's bad news for FlyQuest, right?
Okay.
The good news is Starbound hit some nice shots with the op. That could be the answer for them. That could be what they need.
Bad news.
The bad news is they'll never have the money to buy another op this half.
Yeah, they're not really getting the trickle-down economics from that
No.
side.
There's nothing trickling in the fly camp.
15 and 6 on Floor. Another Yoru ult online. And another operator too. She'll post up in mid.
Throwback to round 3. I think they ran that one. This time without the net.
Wall into main. Cypher's caught in a bit of a prison on the left side there.
The term is 35 seconds to life.
And Starbound kills the guard. Mel's dead. Unfortunately, they're still trapped here. Gonna have to go through basically every last bullet on that sheriff to get out of this one. Oh, and Alexis is actually just gonna let them escape. No, still stuck in the corner. Goodbye, Sonder. The ult is shut down. Floor will go in for more. I think that's a tag through the wall. And here comes the ult. One spotted, pings through for Alexis, and she'll follow up off the information. Only 1 for 1. Gun recovered. Just a sheriff for Floor. I think dropping that operator. Does she need any more? How's she done that? A 180 turn, a shot through the wall, and Thea alone. The IGL's been clutch, but not against this team.
Is Floor playing a final right now, or is she just playing for fun? Literally, on the last round of Haven, Floor dropped her gun and played out the rest with the sheriff, and she just did the same exact thing. Look at the headshot from the wall.
She's also headshotting at the operator. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
what? Ping, reveal, insta 180. Doesn't even hesitate.
And by the way, that's not like a Sova reveal that is going to move with the player. That is a Cypher reveal that is a one-time outline where you only have like a second to get the kill before the player moves.
It's a new take on neural theft, where Floor just takes the head of the player that's revealed.
Okay. She's pretty good, I reckon. There's the raid boss. Spotted
That's
in main.
Haven all over again.
She's got support. Last time a stun, this time a net. The effect is all the same. Floor up, swing back in. Gets a tag as well.
Yeah, drop the op, Floor.
Run away from Floor. What else are you going to do at this point? Dodo spotted.
Oh, no.
Alexis calls trouble too and just peeks away at the last remaining pieces of FlyQuest. Okay, there's a chance.
You'll take the kills you can get, and it's a 3-on-3 all of a sudden.
Winnable.
Hold on, double sensors, there's a deadlock wall in the post. Wait, this is winnable. A paranoia too? Floor goes on a bit of a mission there to switch over to a Vandal, but getting past those stuns in heaven is just the nastiest thing ever.
They're gonna have to spend some time breaking this wall. That'll allow Mel to work the flank.
What?
No one's
They're just
holding it
getting
right
kills.
now. Floor's just running around and has broken all of the utility at this point, bar one
Mel
sensor.
on the flank.
Mel activating. There's the swing. Thea Starbound, both 1 HP. Down goes Starbound. Sonder trying to take a fight. Shorty up! Floor dives forward, gets the kill. Thea, another clutch, another chance, a teleport. Mel sticking halfway. Thea holds her nerve. A swing into the smoke. Time ticking down. Mel gets the kill, but there's not enough time. Thea, time after time, comes up huge for FlyQuest.
Thea's just always good for it. I don't know. Like, these rounds go from completely unwinnable to somehow Thea putting up a masterclass and making it happen. I mean, this is still such a long way away. The 12th round, the only rifle round that FlyQuest were able to win. It is still a long shot at best for Fly, but Thea's certainly kept them in it.
But they're gonna need to win this pistol if they want a smidgen of a chance to win this one.
Come into the unknown.
Dodo only dropped 4 in the first half. Now the defense jet is going to have to come alive to make something happen.
Trap playing A main.
Thea smokes herself in to dodge the dart.
They don't know about her. Paranoia, swing, but no one's receiving, and Thea is taken care of. A lovely setup.
Such a great job of baiting out these plays without overextending. Now the wall comes down to slow down and allow the rotate to come on through. It's evening up. FlyQuest have 30 players on site, a 4th coming into heaven. And Shopify, even after the advantage, are forced away.
Though. Chance for a timing. Everyone is behind that door. And the net, actually, from her team, Is there a gap to get through that one? Maybe.
I think there is. Maybe with a little jump up. It's hard to tell on minimap. But you can certainly hear all of the footsteps. Okay, that's 1 rotate, 2, 3.
Come
Does
back,
Noya know about the Sova, though? That's the question.
Sofa's sitting towards spawn still. FlyQuest know about that deadlock wall. They're not even going to consider a walk-up cat, and it'll fall. Sonder spots the player's main, both very low here, and that's a high-low setup. Noya, though, whiffing, needs these shots and finds him eventually behind, though. Ev deals with the problem and closes out the round.
Okay. Between Thea clutching up round 12 and now the second pistol victory, FlyQuest can certainly make a go of things here. I'm really interested to see. I think the best option for FlyQuest is to save and make sure you can have an op in the next round. That would be the difference maker, but the way they're buying, they're leaving nothing to chance. They know how dangerous Shopify can be, even on pistols.
But Shopify didn't get the plant, and they're only going to commit into 1 Sheriff bot.
Forward in a bit of orb maxing here. Grab A main, TP out. And I think we're going all the way around the world for B main as well.
That they are.
Insightful.
True. Aries ready to spam.
Can always count on you. Yeah, off that camera contact, that's gnarly.
Fly have some of their own traps up their sleeve.
Yo, Sonder just got headshot dinked or something. I don't know. He's on 24 HP. The counter spam from Noya! Respect!
The Sheriff wins that against the LMG. Alright. That's fine. Surely nothing more will come of this one. Starbound is holding Saunders. Walks into sight. They double up. Off of the spam from the deadlock. Starbound swings in. 2 of their own and... Okay. No funny business this time.
I mean, good news already, though, in the first 2 rounds. Like, the hard anchors of Starbound and Sonder found a lot of kills. Sonder got a bunch back on that pistol round. You can see just 1 off of the deadlock ult. That's about as good as you can ask for heading into round 3. Just line up spam on that one.
Going into this bonus round, though.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous for Dodo Nut, though. Whether or not she's going to be able to find any of these angles into mid. I think it's really important for her confidence that she finds some kind of a 1v1, sit someone down early on in this half, get that energy, get that mojo back.
Number 5 and 13 for the star player from FlyQuest. And no one in mid.
Islanded. No one going to help her. But she's going for a creep with this drone out. It sees 1 player, and they get the pick over on A. Dodo with the crunch down. Now it just means FlyQuest are running away with this.
3 players in main left.
Tagged.
Is there going to be a star to step up for Shopify? More can be the one. Clone's good. That sets Sarah up for a kill. Dodo Nut. You were talking about her needing to heat up, and this is her chance, her round to do so. Has the hero rifle, dashes into sight. Defense onto Starbound is good.
Sonder caught one.
2, and that's a player in jail. Sarah's being dragged away, and that's the spike. Yoinked all the way into market. Noya spots ahead. Can't get it. And that's FlyQuest winning the bonus round. And after losing every single rifle round, except the last in the first half, they've won a pistol and a bonus to find themselves straight back in this game.
I mean, it is looking eerily similar to Haven, right? Shopify get out to a big early lead. FlyQuest start battling back in the second half. They weren't able to close on Haven, but I think with the momentum they have now, getting this Ascent win just on the board would be so massive for FlyQuest. Otherwise, it's reverse sweep territory, and no one does that against Shopify. No. Team Liquid found that out firsthand last year.
Yes, they did. You win Ascent, you go into Icebox, which is Shopify's pick, but it's a map that FlyQuest are very comfortable on. We've seen them look quite good there. a real chance to turn the tide of this series. Shopify walking up mid though. And they're ahead of their wall here. Drone forward spots these players. Paranoia is great, and they get nothing for it. Now Thea has to TP past this wall, and Floor's there, ahead of the angle. It's fallen to bits yet again. Chances opened up.
Over eager. They keep fighting up here, this time on the eco, but Dodo gets the 2K to bring FlyQuest right back into this.
Drone
Only
for
one
Ev.
rifle for Shopify on site.
In the hands of Mel. Looking for her 11th title. Noya. It's the Sheriff again.
Player standing.
And again! Noya just does not slow down. Mel there to swing for the final round, and Shopify Rebellion. 10 rounds to their name. It's just a repeat of Haven. A chance for FlyQuest. An overcook. I mean, it's what we saw in their last series, too. A bit of an overcook on an anti-eco. They lose out. The momentum swings away. And that might be Ascent slipping through their fingers.
Putting down the deadlock wall in main and pushing out in front of it. This is a comp that thrives on bunkering down into sites.
I'll find them.
But you give Noya a chance, she has been doing disturbing things. Today, this map, this tournament, she is absolutely online.
Scanning ahead.
Your world's out B. Spots the util setup, sees the Sova in spawn, and full clears this site. Shopify make it out safely.
Look at Dodo Nut again, always pushing out mid for these quick flanks.
Is Noya ready for it, though?
Yes.
But not ready enough. Dodo wins the fight. She'll regroup with the team and retake. But again, this utility is such a problem. Sonic sensors, a wall in spawn, a net ready to go. Wall's going to come down in a second. There's still the remainder of those tools to work with, and that timer is already starting to dwindle.
And Melon main is going to be a problem. She's netted up, though. Nowhere to go.
Annihilation grabs a player in spawn. They're freed. But that dart again! Sarah's Sova utility is just on point in these late rounds. And her Odin spam might win out this round. Towards lane, 3 players trying to trundle with their way through, and they get the kills. And there's time. Or is there?
I don't think so.
It's close. Dodo does not have it. 0.8 away. And Shopify hit 11.
Just heartbreaking for FlyQuest. The anti-eco slips through their fingers, then they win. An almost impossible retake, but with too little time. They had to deal with walls, everything. So much to push back through. Sarah Sova again. Ridiculous stall with another ping there. But it's just too little too late. And now it feels there's just too much work left to be done in this game.
You felt the momentum building back in for FlyQuest. And it has been stuck right out of this game again.
That it has. Look at Shopify anti-aggro setup from B main too. A tripwire and a sensor and the camera. They know FlyQuest are getting antsy. They know FlyQuest are getting over-eager. And even with the tag on Noya, they're going to get pushed back completely. You can't do anything there with the counter spam coming through.
It just reeks of desperation to me. We're playing a double Sensi comp. We have a complete lockdown on the A site, and they're going for these aggressive plays that are just getting punished now 2 rounds in a row. Sonder is out of this round. They're going into the stack. Sure, they're going into the utility, but how much can Starbound really do? Dodo behind. It's only 1 for 1.
There's another coming in.
Starbound combines. Another flanker. Dead. Fluorescent navigates that situation with poise. Map point Shopify.
It's so impressive, right? Floor sitting at 21 and 12, but FlyQuest are continually throwing new challenges at Shopify. They're trying to make the rounds as chaotic as possible. I mean, when was the last round Fly weren't pushing up or weren't flanking quickly? It just hasn't happened every single round. And you can say that's FlyQuest doing too much here. And that's exactly what Shopify are saying, right? Shutting it down time after time. You just can't beat this team, it doesn't seem.
Feels like they're doing too much now. That's getting punished, but I don't know if they can beat Shopify if it gets down to just a good, honest game on this map. Because as we have seen all through Ascent, Shopify is so apt at picking apart these trap plays, at dealing with every piece of utility, and setting up winning late rounds.
Jovi calls his last time out of the game. We've got 3 Vandals and a Bulldog, it looks like to me. But either way,
Stingers on top.
Yeah, it's like Sonder could buy a bigger gun, but then maybe you're dropping... Oh, actually, it gets dropped. I think Thea just dropped that gun to Sonder. I was going to say Sonder would have to give up some utility to buy something real. And that's what Ev is doing, for example. No drone over there for the Sova. Not the worst buy I've ever seen.
A more aggressive sensor this time for Sonder.
Dodo's still living down here.
TP for
good play.
Floor.
The shots!
Oh, she whiffs. And that's the chance squandered. Floor gets the opening kill for the nth time this series.
Oh.
And add some disrespect on top of it.
But that's my concern for Dodo. Like, I'm not even looking at this map anymore. This one's wrapped, folks. But Dodo has to be firing on all cylinders if FlyQuest have a chance of winning the series.
It's Icebox next. She needs to remember the player she is to keep chances alive. On Ascent, though, only 2 left standing. Floor ready to put the dagger in this one. A flank through, Starbound dead. And Ev, the rookie player, with way too much to do. Floor spins around, and there's no more disrespectful way for it to end than a 180 shot from Fluorescent. Unreal.
As much as things change, they stay the same, right? Completely brand new comps, new players, Ev joining the server, but it is still the exact same story as last year or last stage's finals. It's a 13-6 on Ascent. Right back to that.
This is the 13th time Mel and Alexis have been in a GC NA final, and, well, 11 times before they've won. Let's see if they can make it a 12th, or if FlyQuest can recover when we return from the break.
Red Bull gives you wings. The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secretlab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
1, 2, 3. Wow. Boom. What? Wow. Hey.
And with a strong ascent for Shopify Rebellion, they are now one map away from closing out the grand finals, becoming the Series 3 champions. Looking at this, Bala, this one in this best of 5 FlyQuest pick. But once we got into the server, I mean, Shopify Rebellion, again, they just look so strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the same story on both maps so far, right? The pistol comes out pretty strong for FlyQuest, and then you get some momentum shift. And in this case, it came in the hands of Floor. She was so good this map on Yoru. Just honestly getting picks on both sides of the maps almost every round. Like this one in particular, Ender was so right. The fact that she's getting picks on both sides first with that op, it was just so hard to contend with.
Yeah, and I feel like as just a standout player, you talked earlier about using the Neon and kind of getting Floor into more of those duelists that can be more movement heavy, more util heavy, and Floor has just shown that they have it all around, because not only are they kind of flashy with these agents, like she's also utilizing around her team so well and kind of making openings for the team that a lot of time you don't actually get to see as a duelist, because they're just focused on, you know, getting kills or whatever it is. But Floor actually does such a good job of rotating, being able to get the space, using that operator like you said. So it just looked all around like a great game for Floor.
It's a fluorescent that's just impossible to get past. Literally, when you're talking about this final boss of Shopify Rebellion, Floor is her right at the top. This Yoru seemed impossible. And I mean, FlyQuest, even when they were starting to string together things, I mean, they're just instantly shut down because it's a multi-attack approach. If it isn't Floor, I mean, Noya huge steps up, Mel as well.
Yeah, I do have to say, having Shopify start on defense there with double Senti and Floor on the Yoru, I mean, Floor on any agent in that case, it's going to be really difficult because you have two lockdown agents and then you have Floor who's able to reach over and do whatever she wants, right? There's just such a safety net to provide her with all the engagement that she could possibly want. That's exactly the sort of comp that low-key will make Shopify unstoppable.
It's the comp, it's the players that are able to back up all of the talk. And at the end of two, when we're looking at Shopify Rebellion in this map pool, they're so strong. And even looking back at some of the plays they're putting together, like this confidence is through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about their comps a lot on Haven, but for this map specifically, they set up this trap play towards Cat that worked out so well. Off the Cypher camp, that Paranoia came out. And both these players are in heaven. They're set up for the tree push because they know that they've shown so much presence towards that A main, towards that Cat, and they knew they were going to funnel these players into that window, and Floor is just sitting here with an op. Yeah, sick movement, getting out of that, and also being able to just completely deny any entry into the A site from multiple different points because they just had the setup and those trap plays ready. These are the kind of protocols that you can only have as a team if you really have done a lot of your homework, as well as been in a server for so long, just played for so long together. So that was a really close round where I saw that the comp worked out in their favor, where they actually abused the flashes, they used the Paranoia, and they used the cam to, and the deadlock stun as well to set up that kind of Cat play. So yeah, I mean, that was a really cool trap to watch.
I mean, for Shopify Rebellion, they have the trap plays, they have Floor going nuts, they've got the confidence across the team. They're also getting these rounds they shouldn't be allowed to. Looking back at FlyQuest, once we got to see the side swap, it looked like for a second here, Thea, that things could maybe happen. Then Shopify, what did they do? Well, they pulled Thrifty out of their back pocket.
Yeah, this was really crazy. I mean, they just won the round by moving together as a unit and making sure that they had the trades. And having those trades ready were just so good.
Yeah, I have to say this round in particular is the one that you're thinking, okay, they're about to bring this back, right? You win the pistol, you win the bonus, and then you get ecoed. And it's moments like that that are very difficult to overcome. So yeah, huge play from Shopify to keep the momentum rolling for them going to this next map. This sort of thing is so difficult to actually mentally come back from either, right? When you basically get all hope taken out of you early on in a defense side half, that you're like, okay, maybe there's a chance if we can string back together this bonus, all these rounds coming together. But no, instantly get ecoed right after. That's not what you want heading into to potentially what could be a final map here.
Even if they couldn't find that momentum swing, they couldn't find that opportunity on our last map, there is still the opportunity. Map 3 in the series, and we're headed on over to Icebox. I do think for both teams, this does look particularly strong, but when Fluorescent is absolutely popping off here, Athena, and when the rest of the team's really being able to back it up, I am a little worried for FlyQuest here, the longevity of the series.
For sure, we've seen them be super good on Icebox, but exactly what you said, the way that they're looking right now versus Shopify is not the FlyQuest that we've seen previously in these other matches throughout the event. They look a little scared. They look like they're lacking a little bit of confidence, and they look like they're not 100% set on the plays that they're doing. But I will say Icebox has been one of their best, if not the best, performing map for this event so far. They've been so good. Dodonut on that battle stage doing so much work, being able to get that map control, block off the CT spawn, block off whatever it is that they need, and be able to get the spike plant is what really brings the difference within this comp. We did see a little lacking of confidence, and you have the floor on Reyna, which is always kind of scary to play against. But ideally, this one goes for FlyQuest.
I would say, Sarah, we've been talking a lot about setting floor up for success. Here you see it again with the Reyna, right? But on the FlyQuest side, I definitely agree with you, Athena, about the Sage and the ability that it gives you to access the sites. But when you're looking at a long series still ahead of you, Dodonut needs to get active. And to see them being stuck on the Sage, and I say that literally, like being stuck on the Sage, doing one role, is something that's gonna make it very difficult for a FlyQuest to get back in the series. Very doable, but when you're talking about momentum shifts, that's not exactly the situation you want to end up here on Icebox. So great game plan for the Veto coming in from Shopify to let this be map 3.
You know what works out versus Arena? An opping Sage on the wall going crazy, so I'm not even worried.
All right, well, you're not worried at all. For FlyQuest, this is an opportunity to try and take this into a map number 4. Can they show up, or is the Shopify Rebellion to close it out in 3? It's time for our next map. And back over to your casters again, Mimi and Ender.
Thanks very much. Just here on the desk, yes, we could be at what is the end of this series if Shopify Rebellion can close out on Icebox. But this has been a good map all stage for FlyQuest, Christy. And I think for me, all eyes have to go to Dodonut and bouncing back from that map number 2.
100%. Look, she might not be on the jet, but she is still very much entering on this agent. She gets super active. And FlyQuest are so good at brawling for that A site on this map. But as you were saying, that map 2 is a quiet one, and I think it is of the utmost importance for FlyQuest chances in this series that she comes out of the gate hot.
FlyQuest start out on the attack. And as they almost always do on this map, turn their attention towards A. They have a really good A exec here. Shopify has to know that. They've seen this map a lot of times from FlyQuest Red.
Dizzy out, can reclaim that, fire that off again in 10 seconds, but actually, Thea's getting a little bit active over towards B. Is this the rare FlyQuest non-A finish? Would shock me truly. But if Thea's able to find anything, it'd certainly be an option. For the time being, though, it looks like Shopify just want to play, for the most part, A retake entirely. Just leaving the knife for Alexis, because there's 3 players ready to fight this lurk.
Thea testing it. Spots the corner of Noya, but doesn't deal enough damage. And now she is in danger. Good night. Had one chance, didn't convert on it, and now Thea's gone.
Yeah, I like how Noya could have called in reinforcements, but chose not to. Just took the gunfight herself.
Giga Chad. Not a worry for her.
Yeah. Wow, they're going spawn too. Look at that. Doubling up on Raptors using their own Sage Wall, and it's just shocking Shopify. FlyQuest with a cool little play there, but still down numbers in the end.
Dodo. Armor. What? A ghost. No gun in her hands. Good night. Floor deals with it and just jumping around. Nearly does the same to Starbound. They'll live on to see another fight, but no more than that.
I think that round scores pretty highly on the silly meter. I don't think anyone had their guns out or was looking in the right place. Yeah, I guess the first kill Noya got wins the round. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, sure. This is, though, I think a scary prospect, playing against Flora on the Reyna. Once she gets going, she can really snowball, and I think that's even more so on the Reyna. I know you're familiar. You were the last victim of this team on Icebox.
Yeah. I think we got 2 rounds. And
That's pretty good.
I don't know if we ever killed Floor, I'll be honest. It was crazy. Honestly, like, Shopify showed us that they could fight so well over this A space, too, especially defensively. They were doing a lot of pushing up into Nest, with Floor, with darts, etc. So it's interesting to see them ceding this space to FlyQuest early on, but I know they can turn that around if they ever decide to.
We're talking about the A fight. Floor's
Later.
ready for it. That's the Reyna for you.
See?
Get a kill,
This is
dip
what I'm
out.
saying, though. Like, she's so mobile around this site. She fights you on the ground and instantly is jumping pipes and still peeking you. Like, Shopify are so dangerous on this map because of how quickly they reposition, whether it's on a site or even macro decisions, refighting back into mid.
Always seem to be that one step ahead. Where do we move next? How do I reposition? Really tough to deal with.
There.
Floor's going one more. On the zip line. And over the top. Just gonna bound her way over the movement. Is nasty. Okay, Floor.
Yeah, she's just toying with them. Yeah. Having a bit of fun.
To go like a little into too much of the minutia for a second, I feel like Floor, her aim is obviously excellent, but so many of her fights you see are just her movement down. Obviously, this is just silly, bounding over with the E. But in so many rounds, it's the 80-80 strafe. It's alternating between like the jiggle peeks and wide swings, crouching at the right times, crouching into swings, doing all these different things to always throw off her opponent's crosshair placement and put herself at advantage.
The cool thing on Icebox, too, is she uses the verticality. She's jumping and dismissing at the same time. Right now, just posted up. While the FlyQuest are taking the safe pathing, Floor knows people are around, sees jump peak, sees drones, and gets completely flattened. Good play from Sonder off of that drone coming on in, and FlyQuest aren't slowing down anytime soon. Wrapping it in the backside, Sarah finds one. Dodo quick to respond, though, and yet Shopify have managed to get 2 players into backside here. Ev deals with 2, and that'll be the site to fly.
Mel retaking with an outlaw in her hands, and unfortunately for her, 2 players on full armor. This one should be wrapped up for FlyQuest.
Yeah, remember, FlyQuest always make sure they can get full armor round 3. They do not like getting outlawed, and Starbound makes that abundantly clear with the final shots.
Yeah, and you don't always see the gun, but that is one change it has had to the game, right? People are a lot less willing to take that risk on round 2 of buying Sheriff, buying Ghost, something like that, that'll leave you with half armor.
And it's good, too, because I think FlyQuest, their big challenge this game, and for the rest of the series, is not allowing the anti-ecos to run away from them. That has been a consistent problem the last 2 days. In the 5 games they played yesterday, in that Ascent map we just saw from them, they've got to shore that up.
Flores ult.
Ow.
Won't use it. Instead, walking through the shock molly slow, ahead of most of the util, but now pinged out, trying to escape, jumping!
Shut up!
And alive! How?
That's just not real. Like, it's just Silly Town now.
I don't even know how to describe what we're witnessing.
We're on for more.
Okay. The fun will stop, but Noya's gonna keep it going. 2 kills picked up, and I mean, Shopify still in control of this round. But B is a gap, and FlyQuest should be able to get a spike plant in there safely.
Yeah, that's all right for them. No ults or anything they're going to find off of the back of that. They don't really have tools to play the post plant with either. A dart's coming back up, but I like Starbound's decision to get active back into Snowman here.
Pretty soon, FlyQuest should get suspicious of a flank, having seen nothing towards spawn, towards mid just yet. Shopify are taking their time, full walking back through main. They have a full kit of utility on Alexis. A wingman for the defuse. But no smokes. And Starbound has a good angle. As SAR go a bit quicker. Wingman in flash. Well timed, but Wingman taken care of. Ev 1 for 1. That might not be good enough. Sarah sticking. Starbound swinging in to try and prevent, but it's already gone halfway, and there should be just enough time to get that defuse through.
Woo. Right down to the wire there. I like it though, Sarah pulling off that spike just to confirm the kill, knowing it was just enough time to make that one happen. Good of Shopify to be calm here. I mean, first of all, Floor getting that kill is ridiculous, but then see Noya on the wide swing out on Raptor kills both of the players that are elevated. I love that position because you can't really get shot by anyone down on the floor. And it's just wide enough that unless you're a belt player clearing it, you're not always looking there. You're not always primed for it.
On the eco-round, Flyer going to go back to basics. Heavy util dump on this A site.
Yeah, it's interesting because FlyQuest, last time we saw them play this map, really chilled out with their A lobby fights. Like they would save their utility for the actual exec. Maybe they'd use a Dizzy, they'd use a Shock Dart, but they wouldn't be using mollies. But because Floor played so actively up in that space, I think they're kind of forced to now just spend so much of that to try and get her out of there. And as we saw last round, even that wasn't enough.
Thrash being used from the defense here. Already in a 5v4 in this anti-eco.
Ew.
Okay. Nasty shot out of the rookie. But Noya has traded this one back, and Sarah up top. One tap. Man, these shots are ridiculous from the Shopify players today.
Just a thing of beauty. But now, this is the round FlyQuest absolutely have to fight back. Look, they're calling a timeout. They know a lot is riding on this. They've got 2 ults. They're one off of a couple more. Things you're thinking about right now, Sovolt to cancel out the lockdown. That's got to be a big one. Thrash, 2 charges of that makes taking a site so easy. Then you have a lockdown in the post plant. Should be everything in their favor.
Should be, still.
When has that ever stopped Shopify, right?
Yeah. And, I mean, even to get in a position to use that Thrash, to use that Hunter's Fury, if you don't want to use it against the lockdown, you have to deal with the forward fights that SR has been pressuring every round. I feel like if you're FlyQuest, you're almost kind of pressured to want to use the Thrash, to want to use these tools just to clear close. If not,
yeah.
Floor has almost always found a gap in the util patterns and gotten an opener.
And the really annoying thing, too, is even if Shopify chill out, right? FlyQuest throw tons of utility to clear out the front of a lobby. Shopify have 3 different agents with flashes. So they can just fight through their Viper wall after you've wasted anything and walked up into the space that you think belongs to you all of a sudden.
Playing this comp, though, with a Gecko, with a Sage, it does open up the B site a lot more than, like, the, say, Sova KO comps we see that don't have any help to get the spike down.
You'd think that, but I've watched enough FlyQuest games, I've played against them enough to know they literally just go A. Like, it's crazy. 90% finish rate on the A site.
90% of A hitters quit right before they don't die first to Fluorescent.
And Mimi, that's what happens when you don't use that opening volley of util. If you're ever greedy, Floor is just going to murder you completely for free.
There is a trade.
You will not kill my
That's from Dodo Nut, and that gives them the res. Back in advantage for FlyQuest.
Oh yeah!
Viper cycle up. They're going to send that ultimate straight through it. Floor's detained. But she has protection from above. Sarah for 2. Still alive and still troublesome. 3 kills to Sarah. Finally dealt with. But is it too little too late? Lockdown in. Noya tucks away as Mel works all the way around on a flank. The turret was down. And Thea's running straight into her. A free kill. Mel wants another fight. Starbound spotted out. But the lockdown demands respect. But it's only a bit of time bought. Starbound needed to win that fight, and they just could not. So Shopify Rebellion win the key rounds there. Pulling out the 2 power ults FlyQuest had and going up to 5.
How is it possible? You lose the round after you dome
with
Alexis.
3 ults.
After Fluorescent gets shut down in the corner of sight. But with Sarah perched up in nets, just cutting down player after player. It's like watching a cucumber meet a mandolin. It's just, you're getting carved to pieces. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Sarah's on the Gecko now, but when you talk about this player, I mean, her mechanics are out of this world. Her utility has always been on point. Think back to the first 2 maps, how much impact her Sova darts had. I really feel like in North America, she is without a peer in the pure quality of initiator players in GC.
I'd give her that. And then some. FlyQuest lose this round before it even begins. Just on a little bit of a mid-walk.
Did they?
Well, they managed to find some kills.
That's 2 kills. Unfortunately, those guns aren't recoverable. And they're getting pinched now by the menace that is Fluorescent.
Place your bets now. Are we going B?
Probably not. It's FlyQuest. I would love to see it, though. I feel like their comp is really good for it. And Jumpfire putting a lot of resources around Floor on that A site.
I mean, the thing is, FlyQuest, their B takes are almost exclusively on, like, eco plays, right? It's like last round, they're running into mid. I think on their bonus is when they opened up strong into B. Or that might have been the anti-eco round, too, but
or it's one of those, like,
regardless.
rounds where Thea's lurking up and call back into it late.
Starbound Operator. They only got 1 round with it on Ascent, but Starbound was good for 2 kills.
This might be their solution to the Fluorescent problem. Who has made her way around the drone, has walked all the way up, and again, it's an opener for Floor. Someone has to put an end to the madness. A criminal at large.
Oh no, it's about to go from bad to worse. Look at B main, Vipers running into each other. They had tried to lurk that before, but I don't think that's gonna go well for the IGL, and it doesn't. The lurk is no longer an option, but the A site is. FlyQuest are still gonna have to run back and secure the spike. They might even look for the fights before then.
That's gonna take some time. Everyone from FlyQuest has arrived today. 1 Molly on Alexis, 1 on Mel. Those are tools to stall out this plant. How much time can they buy? KO Molly in. Dodo has to reposition. Viper Molly, that won't stop Dodo. And the operator, that'll shut down the IGL. Mel is out of this one. Ev, a lot to deal with, and they run out of bullets, so Noya needs 3 to win it. And she does! The operator ripped out of the hands of Starbound. And against the opposing Killjoy, Noya wins it in the clutch.
No matter how many things FlyQuest do right, Shopify are still just gonna win the rounds. Like, ridiculous play out from Noya there. Working her way around the site, headshot after headshot for the Red Bull clutch. I mean, that is just about as good as it can possibly get.
We've talked about the big 3, the big 2, the top dogs in Game Changers NA. But there is a very clear tier gap between Shopify and the rest of the competition in the main event. 7-1. Fly are finally going to turn their attention to B. The second that Mel puts a pit up. A lot to do for Mel, though. Puck's back in. That's 2. Mel ripping them out of this round. Ev, and that's pretty good. Gets a double. That'll claim the site. But look who's still here. Sarah. Gonna cause some problems. Thrash from above. Saunders gone this round. Again, over in an instant.
5 sheep walk into B main, and none of them survive the slaughter. Just insanity.
6 rounds in a row. Now 1 for Shopify Rebellion.
Look, FlyQuest would have to bring back 7 rounds now just to tie things up, and even then it doesn't get easier. Shopify Rebellion, as a core, have never lost 3 maps in a row.
It's wild. They've only lost 1 event as a core. Last Game Changers Championship, the one where they came out as champs. They lost that one to EG. They don't want to let another upset happen today, though. They want to fly off to Brazil as NA's #1 seed.
And look,
Brazil,
FlyQuest.
Berlin, that is.
Yeah. Thea's called things up, or switched things up with another B look on the low buy, but Shopify have 4 players here. Like, even when FlyQuest are playing against their tendencies, Mel is still reading it, and they're still looking to keep the fights going. That Lyra is going to come off of this high-low double contact. Actually, it's going to come early, and Floor will be rightly punished for it. What are they doing?
For the first time, the tomfoolery put to an end. Surely it's put to an end. Surely Alexis doesn't just swing out and get more. No, the Thrash comes in and saves the day.
30 seconds left.
Noya is not completely out of any round.
Recalling my bot.
She's been a menace in the clutch thus far this series.
Planted.
And a 1v3, well, challenging isn't impossible.
We've got 2 people watching the flank. Now they know, though.
With the time ticking down, her dream might just be to get some of these ults out. Even that would be big. Dodo jumps. Ev spotted as well, but Noya knocked down to 10, and the Thrash misses the mark. Sonder on a swing, though, will double up with Dodo and deal with the threat.
What can FlyQuest make out of this? A full eco round that they steal away from Shopify? Remember, they've had moments of life. Whether it was the second half of Haven or the Thea clutch on round 12 back on Ascent, can definitely string rounds together. This is a streaky team in FlyQuest, right? When things are going poorly, they're going miserably. But when they're going well, this is just a machine, a train that can't be stopped.
Floor. She's got another mission. Sneaks her way. Up top, spotted out, drops down, and this time won't be getting away with an opener.
Destroyed.
For a moment, you could see that shot with Thea in mid. Thea's been bested on her lurk every time she's gone for it. This time doesn't quite find anything into mid, but you can see that FlyQuest are reading that Shopify have actually stepped forward and gone for flanks in a couple of these rounds. They want Shopify, just like last round, to overplay their hand.
Look at Alexis. Off angle. A crossfire with Sarah. And that's the first kill. Is he broken? Crossfire still needs to be dealt with. Sarah doubles up. They are unbroken on A. FlyQuest have no way into this one. An operator held. A flank spotted out. And surely a 9th round to come for Shopify Rebellion.
Wow. I mean, the first 2 maps were a masterclass in utility comboing between Sarah and Alexis. Like, the things we were doing with you know, the crouch nades of the deadlock, Sov ults, darts, breach stuns combos. But this is just perfect tandem play. Good angles, swapping, baiting between the 2. Very hard to break a setup like that. Shopify make quick work of Fly.
Last map, FlyQuest won round number 12. They broke a streak from Shopify. Went on to win a pistol, a bonus. It looked like there was a chance. They couldn't do it there. To even have that chance, it has to start here. They'll go back to the bread and butter. A hit onto the A site. This time, public enemy number 1 not here. And instead, it's FlyQuest to get an opening pick. Noya on
Brings
an
the
off
operation
angle,
down.
Takes down Dodo and pops her ultimate. Sarah backside. These 2 have been unstoppable on A. Sarah even picking up another. The lockdown not gone. Ev whiffing out on the shots. Sarah's wingman defusing. And it's just done and dusted. 10-2 in the first half of map number 3 for Shopify Rebellion.
I'll be honest, in the last 3 months, I thought the gap was closing. I think most people watching thought the gap was closing between Shopify Rebellion and the rest of North America. Whether it was the 5-game best of 5 series, FlyQuest pushed them to the limits in. Whether it was Shopify losing to Fly in the best of 3 in the qualifiers, losing to YFP in the second qualifier. Shopify came into this event as the 3rd seed, but they are by far and away the best team in America.
And the best team in what it's proven to be the strongest region. A final in the first GCC. A win for this very team in the second. And now 3 rounds away from a statement win. Heading in to the 3rd Game Changers Championship. It's a contact up A. Dodo holding. A high-low with Sonder, and that's an opener. She'll tuck tail and run all the way back into sight, but Saunders just not so lucky. Sarah's taken care of the opposing Gecko, but there have been 3 players working their way onto this A site.
Gas is running out, the flash on through. Alexis is just running circles around FlyQuest. That's 2 kills, and Starbound completely left out on Raptor. Thea, the sole survivor for FlyQuest. In a round they had to win, but they haven't. Shopify keep racking up the numbers.
11-2. Game 1 was close. Ascent, there were chances. But map number 3 has been a stomp for Shopify. FlyQuest have to force here. No other choice. They'll put together some meager scraps to try and hold on another round.
Hard to say how committed Shopify will be to this game of play. Leaving a lurker outside main, but actually great opening shot from Thea. Takes Alexis down very low. And already the rotate calls are being pulled over. FlyQuest are going to be ready to get back on this site, you'd think. Although as I say that, they're actually focusing their efforts on flushing out mid from a lurk.
Shopify group up towards A. FlyQuest flash into mid. Instantly broken, and Starbound doesn't want to take any risks.
Once again, it's Dodonut out in the front over on this A site. Was good for that opening shot last round. But truly, Dodonut has to put on an outrageous half here to stay alive in this tournament.
Dodo spotted, but it's Sonder to open the round instead. That duo might keep this site in control. Floor, though, arrived on the scene with 2 kills and a third. Should just be a formality. She'll dive in from above. Dismiss away. Thea and Starbound left. And the danger is dead.
2 on
the
2.
round's not over. A flank coming. Starbound not spotted out by the turret. Evaded the alarm bot, but getting cleared by Noya. And gone. So aware from the killjoy from Shopify. It's 12 rounds to SR.
FlyQuest are winning that if Noya doesn't hit the headshot. Between the damage and the aim punch, Starbound just couldn't hold on to the fight. Thea and Starbound, the 2 players that were on that EG squad that took down FlyQuest or took down Shopify a year ago, but in the 2-on-2, simply not enough to best them this time around.
That round has been the story of the game. Floor starts the round, and the duo of Sarah and Noya end them. Only 1 player for FlyQuest on this A site.
A is usually bountiful for FlyQuest, but they had no luck on it so far this game.
And here comes Floor. That's her first kill. Another up and above. In comes Fluorescent. 3 kills. 2 left to win the series, to win their 5th title. And Saunders the only one to stand. It's 13-2. Shopify Rebellion win 5. And for the first time, they head to Game Changers Championship as North America's #1.
In flawless fashion as well. You could not ask for a better team to represent North America as the #1 seed. Defending champions going back there. And Mel, the player on your screen right now, to return to Berlin, where dreams were initially shattered. She and Alexis have the chance to set the story straight this time around.
That was their low. But this is their chance to go back-to-back, to find a new high. For Shopify Rebellion, they've never gotten that fated match that they have always wanted. We've always talked about this rivalry that has never been between them and G2. They get another chance on G2's home turf to face off against them, to face off some new teams heading to the championship, and to try and bring home another trophy for NA.
And let's not forget, even when Mel won it all back in Brazil, she was not there on stage to lift the trophy. She is going into Berlin to make up for the wrongs of the past and to actually be there to hoist that #1 trophy and take it home with the team.
A chance for redemption for Mel and Alexis. Today, though, they celebrate an 11th Game Changers North America title for the two of them, a 5th title for this core, this super team that is Shopify Rebellion. You'll want to stick around, though. An interview with your victors coming up after this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. I just feel so good, good. I just feel so good.
I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
A clean sweep for Shopify Rebellion here in the grand finals, and a clean sweep throughout this year of Game Changers, claiming yet another championship title. I mean, Bala, Shopify Rebellion, they're a team that even on an off day still look like the best team, and today, I mean, they were not holding back.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes you wonder what happened in Series 2, where this series was close. This is 5-0 against FlyQuest right here. 5 maps in a row against them through the upper bracket final, and then this one. And yeah, this is the best team potentially in the world. And we're going to find that question out real soon, but they're looking to go back-to-back for sure.
I mean, just the way that they're playing, the way that they exude this confidence just shows that Shopify, they know kind of where they stand on the scale of everything. And I feel like they're so cool, calm, and collected. And I feel like for me, for Shopify, the thing that they do best is being able to play off of each other, being able to set up those traps and use the util to get the picks. And earlier, Bala, you mentioned a lot about setting up floor, and Ender and Mimi, they talked a lot about the util that Shopify has. I feel like every single aspect that they bring to the table has just been so polished. So huge props to them for having such a good gameplay.
Yeah, I have to point it out as well. 11 out of 12 for Mel and Alexis in terms of Game Changers NA victories. Only one team has been able to best them, and they're just going to continue with this insane dynasty. At this point, if it's not been clear, it's been very clear for the majority of people for so long that this team is above and beyond anybody else in Game Changers. But even with that said, the concept of 11 out of 12, the concept of them sweeping 3 out of the 4 years that we've had Game Changers is insane. No matter how far ahead you are, that is such a crazy feat that is impossible to replicate by anybody else, to be honest. And no sport really has ever felt the same level of dominance as a team like Shopify has exuded here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even the fact that they're just making all the finals and winning. It's also that they've had roster changes and they've still managed to keep up this win streak. I think that part in itself is insane. It just goes to show how the core of this team really built a solid, strong foundation and then brought in the players just to fit the right puzzle pieces into it. And so I mean, it just goes to show they've proven themselves time and time again. No one can literally say anything about them up until the next team that beats them. So Shopify, I mean, they've just done it again.
It's the fashion in which they do it as well, because you look back to, them getting upset last year in the grand finals of a GC, and it's like, oh, okay, like they can be stopped, like they can fall. And then they just 180 and make you forget all about that. It's the fashion in which they won this series today. And I think when we're talking about Shopify Rebellion, to be able to have that as the little bow tie on top of the series, Bala, at the end of all of that, that is so much confidence now headed to the championship.
Absolutely. A 3-0. I mean, not dropping a single series in the entirety of all the main events this year. Obviously, there was some blips where, there's been maps dropped and stuff like that. It's not as flawless as it might have been in the past, but still overall this year has been perfection. It really has.
It has been so great to see Shopify Rebellion be able to pull this off yet again. So of course we have to talk to Shopify Rebellion and go to our Verizon post-match interview. None other than Mel on the line. Mel, biggest of congratulations. The victory today, but also all 3 series throughout this year. How are you feeling? Another title under your belt.
Feeling good, about the same as when I walked in the building. I think it is nice that we got the hat trick as with this team, like the triple, because last year obviously we flopped at the end of EG, which was not the best, but it's nice to get like the 3 in a row under our belt with SR.
I like the confidence. Just the same. It's just another day for the winningest team out there. And you're talking about how last year that was that little bit of an upset here. And we've seen that FlyQuest. This is a matchup we've seen play out a lot of times. And in Series 2, they did test you a little bit. And then today was just a clean sweep. So how is it different kind of heading into this series to be able to pull off such a clean run?
I think for us, heading into this series, a big part of it was actually the fact that we really just wanted to like win and stomp them, because obviously we had lost to them in the first qualifier. I've never ever in my whole life had to play more than 1 qualifier. We had to play We had to play 3 to get here, bruh. It was hard. We lost to YFP, we lost to FlyQuest at the beginning, but we knew we were capable of so much more, like, considering the context of what was going on at the time. Like, we had 1 week of practice when we dropped that series in the qualifier, the FlyQuest thread, and then we had, like, other issues going on for the second qualifier. So yeah, it actually did matter to us to make, like, a statement, kind of, in a way.
I mean, you're talking about being capable of so much more, and you showed it here. You got to show it last year at the championships as well. And last year was about proving that you were this dominating team. Now you're going there to title defend. Does that add an extra layer of pressure going into the event, or how are you feeling with the championships now around the corner?
I feel about the same as I did last year. I think I'm definitely not gonna be making the same mistakes that I did on Cloud9 White, where you go in all gun ho, like, yeah, we're gonna come in, we're gonna win everything. That's definitely not the vibe I'm going for. We're really just going to, like, have a good time in Berlin. Hopefully we win and, like, come out with, like, a victory.
I mean, the statement you've been able to put up through this year definitely have high. Like, I have only the highest expectations and hope for you guys. I want to know
Makes
then too.
sense.
With, I mean, it's Shopify Rebellion. How could we not, right? At this point, but now internationally, that's always a fun stage. And I want to know what team, what players you're looking forward to most to playing up against.
Yeah, actually, this year I'm super excited to play against, like, MIBRGC because they came in from Brazil. Sorry, my teammates talking to each other, but yeah, MIBRGC is definitely, like, up there. I would love to play them. I really want to play Zipto because we didn't get an opportunity to play the core of that team last year, or that team in general. Pretty much any team that we haven't played yet, I'm biased to wanting to play against because we obviously goes into an incredible team, but we know we're gonna play them at some point if we play well enough and they play well enough. So hopefully, it teams that we haven't played would be nice.
I'm definitely excited to watch all of that. It'll be a lot of fun. Since we can hear the teammates, I'll let you go be able to celebrate, go chat with them. Mel, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations yet again on another title.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You. That's for us. Back to the desk. I mean, Shopify Rebellion, Athena, I love, like, the attitude going into everything as well. It's a team that's destined for so much, but Mel talking about the mistakes on Cloud9 White of going in all gung-ho and then playing a little bit. So to see everything going into this, I mean, I said it, then I'll say it before. I have such high hopes for this team, and they've really showed up today.
I mean, to be a good player and to be a winning team, you have to have some sort of ego. And I think for Shopify, it looks like they've mastered the difference between having an ego and also understanding that a game is a game and you never win till you actually finish and get that winning scoreline. So I think they do a really good job of balancing both. And I also love the kind of, like, baller attitude she has at the end. I think that's a really good thing to have. I mean, you're about to go to champions. It's sick.
I love the disrespect to the North American team. She's like, yeah, we would have loved it. Not that she said that. I'm just paraphrasing. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we
okay,
love
damn,
11 out of 12. Like, I'm bored of these teams in NA. I'd really want to play some other teams finally. Like,
I mean, I mean, Mel was talking about it. They had to work to get qualified for this Series 3, but in the end, being able to take down the entire thing. And she was saying about it as well, in such a dominant fashion, in a fashion, like, this was a statement more so. It's a team that we've had the questions, we've had the conversations when we do see them stumble a little bit, but to be able to turn around things, make the statements, Bala, I think it's humongous, especially too. We've talked so much about Fluorescent when we see the Shopify Rebellion, really awesome, but across the board, this team, the cohesion, the teamwork, everything was just on point.
absolutely. And the funny thing is, like, I think a lot of people probably just skipped over the hardship that they placed in the open qualifiers, right? Losing to FlyQuest, losing to YFP in those moments, and it turns them into another level when they end up losing early. They're a special team when it comes to that. So yeah, I think making a statement was on their minds, and for some of us, it was kind of like on our minds too. But for the most part, this was just business as usual for the viewer. And to hear that insight from Mel as well. Yeah, this was actually a tough game changer, and the level of competition has been rising overall. You heard Ender talk about how this is probably going to be their hardest one, but here they are, and they just absolutely dominate.
I mean, for a level of competition that is rising, to be able to take 3 titles throughout this year and now have the opportunity to go to the Game Changers Championships to try to defend the title says so much. But for a Series 3, that's unfortunately it. We'll see you all in Berlin for a great Game Changer Championships. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.